Painters knows how important your home is to you. They're taking precautions recommended by public health officials to help keep you and the painting.
Facebook
Very
audience.
cool stuff too, like
We are
free
live.
estimates for painting the outside or inside of your home. It's quick, safe.
WJR's Facebook page, right?
Certified Painters
Yep,
does
and
a
we're
great
live.
job.
We're live right now, guys.
WJR, Steve
We're
Courtney.
off and running.
Took excellent care of me. I had some exterior painting done, and they were on top of their game. They provided a custom project plan, firm estimate, and daily progress reports. You can trust CertaPro painters to get the job done right and safely.
Interior or exterior, residential or commercial, CertaPro can take care of it all. Schedule your free
Steve,
estimate.
I think we may have you start the show.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. They're right here in our community.
That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting.
I'm Dick Hafner, WJR News. And now, here's Steve Courtney.
This is Paul W. Smith on News Talk 760 WJR. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community and ending Detroit's digital divide at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Now, here's Paul W. Smith.
Well, hopefully, P-Dub will be with us shortly. There is a technical snafu in progress, but it is being worked on. Isn't this something? Nice to have you with us. How you doing? Good Wednesday morning to you. It is the Paul W. Smith Show here on 760 WJR. Special good morning to our Facebook followers on the WJR page. This baby is being streamed, and what a pleasure it is to be with my old friends. We've got News Director Richard Hafner in the traffic department, the lovely Dana Clark, executive producer Ann Thomas. How y'all doing?
Good morning, Steve.
It's hump day. I thought it was off. Like, what's up? Is it too hot for the camel?
It is warm, yeah. But camels like warm, I think, don't they?
100%.
That's right.
And don't camels do well in the desert, Dana?
Yes,
So
they do.
should like this.
Yes, they do. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like Wednesday, but it actually is. And I mean, who's ready for some golf? I don't know. It's going to be hot out there.
I don't know. I don't play all that much, but whatever.
You excited for this, Steve?
Yes, I'm very excited. And it just seems like yesterday that we were at the beautiful Detroit Golf Club there, Annie, and we were doing the show for the inaugural Rocket Mortgage Classic. And by golly, nobody really knew what was looming, did they?
No idea.
Hey, guys.
Here's Doug.
I might not be able to come to you through Barnyard, but I am able to come to you through the good old-fashioned access system. And I can't see you, and you can't see me. And I still want to be a part of all of this because it's too big a day to miss it. What's that?
You're butting into your own show.
I am butting into my own show because the plan was always for me to take this day off of the vacation week and do this show. And unfortunately, the Barnyard equipment on now 3 computers is not happening for me. I hope that I hope I have the right code and everything. The problem I'm having with my newest MacBook Pro is it's not showing that I'm getting the Wi-Fi signal, yet the Wi-Fi signal's coming to the other 2 computers. And my last message on the new computer is appropriately from our boss, Mike Wheeler, saying he'd be out this week. But that's June 27th. So maybe he took me with him when he went out.
I think maybe.
He took me out with him because I don't have it here.
The dual belt on there, Paul.
The digital divide.
Yeah, this is the digital divide. And Courtney sounds like he's in another country. We're off like a herd of turtles here on the WJR at 543.
I'm just going to go here. I don't hear any sounder. Traffic
How
first.
far your support can go at
there it is.
unbound.org.
Dana, we can hear you through all of that. At least I can on my access. Maybe they can on the air. But here you are with your WJR Traffic and Weather first, Dana Clark.
Okay, Paul, Wjr Traffic First, also sponsored by Starline Mackinac Island Ferry. Hightail it to Mackinac Island on a Starline hydrojet or catamaran ferry. And now a new pirate ship, the Good Fortune. Starline offers the largest open-air boats disinfected before every trip with fares starting at $19. Get discount tickets and vacation packages at MackinacFerry.com. That's MackinacFerry.com. Roadways, not looking too bad. We do have an accident, a closure in Genesee County, I-475 southbound between I-69 and Atherton Road. Closed there due to a multi-vehicle crash. And also McNichols traveling eastbound between Grand River and Evergreen. That is closed due to an accident that is reported by police. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Metro Detroit chapter of Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association, SMACNA. SMACNA contractors fabricate, install, and service heating and cooling ventilation systems, build metal roofing, and much more. For your commercial, industrial, public, or residential project, they take all the necessary precautions, getting the job done right and on time. Hire Detroit's best. Visit smacnad.org.
Expect dry conditions and above average temperatures heading towards the 4th of July. Starting off July today, clear early, then afternoon sun with a high of 87. Overnight clear, the low 66, and sunny tomorrow with a high of 92. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on News Talk 760 WJR.
And we're checking in with the guy who checks in with us Monday through Friday, noon till 3. Rush Limbaugh's here now.
Politico is reporting that some states have announced cuts to their Medicaid budgets because of the loss of tax revenue, which, of course, is due to the closing down of the economy. Now, it's not the first time that states have cut Medicaid spending. It happened during the last economic slowdown. But experts warn this time it's going to be worse, because under Obamacare, the number of people using Medicaid skyrocketed by millions. Now, that's not bad enough. There are millions of people newly out of work. A bunch of them are going to seek help from Medicaid, just as the money is running out. Now, in the first coronavirus bailout legislation, Congress gave states a temporary 6% increase to cover Medicaid. But some states are crying and moaning it's not enough. They need more money. And they don't want chump change. They want billions and billions more. They want hundreds of billions, and they want it now. And the Democrats in Congress, of course, want them to have it now. So you might be asking, well, why don't the states cut their budgets in other areas if Medicaid's such a priority? Or you might ask, where are these billions of dollars supposed to come from? Well, you can ask all you want. There never will be an answer. States want more money, and we're supposed to come up with it. End of story. It's just apparently how it works now. Except for you. You want more money? Screw you. You can't even go back to work yet. Chump.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Folks, it is once.
Okay, team.
How do I sound?
You sound a little bit like Paul's talking about,
Echoey.
kind of echoey again. Do you think you could go in and use your technological skills and
From Radio Shack.
and fix from Radio Shack and fix your sound?
Ryan says I sound like I'm far away from.
Yeah, you sound. Oh, now you sound closer.
Well, because I brought the machine closer.
There you go.
How's
Okay,
that?
Just hold it up right on top of your face.
come a little bit closer now.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's not that. It
That's
does
good.
sound better. No, it's better.
Testing,
So-
1, 2, 3.
Yes. So Jackie says she hopes you're wearing pants, as do the rest of us.
Yeah, we
Wow.
had an experiment last week where we
Was
tried to
somebody
guess
wearing pants?
who was. Oh yeah, I had on PJs, but it was pants. But
I
I
had
think-
sweats on. We were guessing who was
we
wearing
were guessing.
what. And
Yeah.
we thought if you were there, you would have been in your underwear. It was just a guess, though. I mean, we didn't know.
I guess.
It was just a guess.
It's been known to happen.
You've done StreamYard in your underwear?
Don't.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh boy.
dear.
What, Ann?
Yes.
Boxers.
Boxers.
When we practice for this,
Yes.
so that you wouldn't sound echoey like you do.
And listen, I want it on the record that I've got a hell of a lot more hair. I got a light right over me.
Sure.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that.
Oh, we know that. Of course we know that. It's good though. The Facebook viewers know it now
Yes.
too.
You're handsome. Don't you worry.
Little behind the scenes action.
Annie, what hat do you have on?
Detroit Golf Club.
Oh, there you go. Now, I don't have that hat. That is one hat I don't
I'll
have.
get you that. I'm going to get that for you.
Thanks, Annie.
Since we were virtually at the Detroit Golf Club this morning, I should, step up and.
Absolutely. It looks good.
It's cool, isn't it? See, that's the
yes,
logo.
it's very nice. I love it.
So I'm going to get you one. You
Thank
need one.
you.
Mhm.
So what is the procedure for this classic today?
Oh,
Well, they actually start playing tomorrow. Are they doing anything over there today, Steve? Is it any kind of a pro-am
There
or
is
no?
going to be an exhibition.
Okay.
With a few players, and that's about it.
Oh, interesting.
Anybody allowed out there to talk to them?
Set the square off today.
So how many players are there? Are all the players that were committed, did they come or did
Right.
any test positive for COVID or what's that situation?
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
All righty. I may ask you guys to talk among yourselves while I continue to try to do this ridiculousness. So talk amongst yourselves, guys.
And Dubster, I'm sending Ray. We have a Ray May Day. Help.
Yeah, I called him already. And on my paperwork, it said he was on call, but I woke him up. He was in a dead sleep. I thought he was in the background. But you guys talk. I got to get something done here and see if I can make it work.
Oh,
all right. Good luck, Paul, for crying out loud.
It's a lot. It's interesting, right? Every day.
Yes.
Some numbers here as we celebrate the second running of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. The field for the second edition, by the way, worth about $7.5 million, features 82 PGA Tour players, including 13 major champions and 10 players who have won during the 2019-2020 PGA Tour season. 15 players are currently ranked within the top 30 of the PGA Tour's 2019-2020 FedEx Cup standings. So, what the field is there during really and obviously unprecedented times. We have had COVID rear its ugly head in professional golf. You know that. But it is going to be quite a display. As a matter of fact, there's a little exhibition going off today at the beautiful Detroit Golf Club. Bubba Watson and a few of his closest friends. He's getting together with Harold Varner III. They're going to team up against former world number one Jason Day and Wesley Bryan in a 9-hole exhibition. So, it'd be great to be out there, but the show must go on, and by golly, it will.
Well, here's a question. Who will see the exhibition?
It is going to be streamed on Golf Channel and other professional golf platforms. So,
all right, so we can actually watch it because we can't go out to the club and see it.
Right.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, you've got to make the most of what is a bad situation. And judging by the numbers we're seeing around this great nation of ours, it's only getting worse. But I know that those involved in this great tournament, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, have done what is necessary to make sure it's enjoyable. Look who's here.
Hey.
Let me tell you something. And
Yes, sir.
I told you last night that I got another code sent to me.
Yes.
You said, I hope that's the right one. Well, I can only guess it was the wrong one because
I sent one to you
that's the one I just used. And on my old computer, it came on fine. Still having trouble with the new computer. I don't know why it's not reading the internet at all in my house. It's like there's no internet. And yet on this computer, my old computer, internet's loud and clear, nice and strong. So
And you sound wonderful.
what a
And you look good too.
pain in the behind. Well, can you see my shirt?
Yes.
You probably can't see it. It says
Yes.
Rocket Mortgage Classic on it.
Yes.
Good timing.
Very
Good timing, huh?
You have a shirt for every occasion.
I hope they don't have a different logo this year because this is last year's. So is there a different logo? Is it? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
We'll have to ask the gang when they come on this morning.
Yeah. Wait, how do I make my, let's see if I can make all this bigger.
So Steve says you have a shirt for every occasion. That's
It's
kind
true.
of true, Steve.
It's true. I even have, when I go and visit the Rose Pest people, I have a Rose Pest Solutions work shirt with my name embroidered on it.
Yes, you do.
I got it all going on.
That's
You
when you
gotta
know you
have
have a shirt for every occasion.
This is what you get for the formerly big bucks. You know, you get all this stuff that comes along with that. It's the whole package. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have a separate closet for all of your different logos?
No,
Like a broadcast closet?
No, that'd be a good idea.
Good idea, Annie.
In the next downsizing of my house, it'll be there'll be just. In fact, we'll live in a closet, and I think it's time we all come out of the closet.
Oh,
and,
boy.
just do our show. Yeah. So a couple of things I wanted to mention. I thought I'd never be able to. Saw a great Birmingham commercial last night. Did anyone else see it? It was a commercial for Birmingham.
Wow. No.
Coming out of this whole pandemic and opening up and all of that. It ran just before the news, so it was good. So congratulations, Birmingham, for that. I'm glad I charged up this computer as well.
What is it for, Dub?
It's just a great commercial talking about all the stores are back and they're there and they're waiting for you to come.
Oh,
basically.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I like this thing about this line. Last night, I gotta turn this off. This is just causing trouble here. Last night, I don't know if it happened, Dick. Maybe you had it in the news. I was on fire here trying to put the fire out, so I didn't hear your news too much. Did they cut $1 billion out of the police budget in New York last night? That's what the brainiacs, the mayor, the idiotic mayor, and their city council was doing. Did they cut it?
Yes.
Okay. So when I watched it after 11, they were still voting with rioters outside as if this is going to stop the people, the anarchists, from rioting and looting and burning and stealing. So now here's a place I'm not going anytime soon. It's called New York City. You cut $1 billion out of their police budget is like taking the lifeguards off the beach while the riptide is rolling in.
It makes no sense at all, does it?
It makes, for somebody who lived in New York when it was bad and watched it get better, this means they're going right back to bad again. These people are clueless. And it's sad and unfortunate for Dana's old hometown of New York City is about to show us what it's like to cut out an entirely new class of officers, 1,200 of them. That's not an insignificant number. And $1 billion out of their police budget as of last night.
Will that make the protesters happy?
Have them realize a mistake's been made.
How long before they realize?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Not long at all.
Well, it won't be long for normal, good people, but for anarchists, they'll just say they won, and that's the way it is. So it's sad, it's unfortunate, and it's what's happening. 5:57 at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it. Let's check our WJR traffic and weather first. Miss Dana Clark.
Few closures that kick off your Wednesday commute, and now in Lincoln Park, 4th Street is shut down northbound between Champaign Road and Southfield Road. Also, McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Evergreen closed there due to an accident, and a closure in Genesee County along I-475 southbound between I-69 and Bristol Road. In Pontiac, We have an area blocked due to fallen power cables. Avoid the area up dike, both directions northbound and southbound between M59 and Featherstone Road. Police say they expect that area to be closed for most of the morning drive. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Restore Wellness Center. Tired of dealing with nagging body pain? The Restore Wellness Center will reduce the pain and scar tissue, improve blood flow, nerve function, and muscle stimulation. The state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatments will reduce your pain. Call 800-935-5959. In Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. Well, it's going to be another hot one again today. Clear sky, 68 degrees, going up to 88. Once again, no rain over the next several days, actually on into the weekend. Tonight, clear skies, your low 66, even hotter on Thursday, hitting 92 and 93 on Friday. Once again, 68 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in about 1 minute.
Don't you feel like lately when you hear all these different stories that you're constantly saying, this is insane. I don't get this. What the heck is going on here?
Every day.
Every day. I mean, like this police story is just, it's ridiculous. Why would we ever defund the police right now? I mean, they need more help now than ever. What?
Every day is something new.
Yeah, and I always say, oh,
right, it can't get worse. Oh, hi, Denise from North Carolina.
If they're going to have better training,
they need more money.
They need more money, not less.
Right.
If they think that people are going to rush out and spend money on training when they have $1 billion less, you're wrong.
Right.
But does defunding mean switching the money around as well?
Well, what happens in this case is they're cutting all their programs. They're cutting 1,200 new hires that are in the academy will now be let go. They're cutting other programs, social programs that the police are involved with. They're not going to. It's just ridiculous. It's
well, you don't need a police officer, but you need a police officer. So it's going to be a whole new kettle of fish right around the corner.
Wait until they call 911 and no one shows up. And I'm certain that the African American community in certain cities will say, well, that happens to us all the time. Well, they ain't seen nothing yet if they've had slow responses in other cities. They ain't seen nothing yet. So it makes sense that, and as you say, Ann, these stories that we hear now and how we're saying all the time, what the hell is going on? Here's a story that kind of sums up some of this stuff. Americans are living in a big anger incubator.
Yeah, so that's very true.
I mean, it is. We more people are speeding at unbelievably high speeds.
Yes.
Somebody pulled over at 140 miles an hour. That's a little bit over the 55 or 70 or even 75 mile an hour speed limit on our expressways. There's more fighting over stupid stuff. People fighting a Walmart greeter because they didn't want to wear a mask, even though that's the rule. And the anger overall.
Divided as it is right now, quite frankly. I mean, when's the last time, aside from the Civil War, that this nation has been as divided as it is? I mean, it's simple.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, frankly.
But we have golf. We have golf coming. We have a golf
today's
event.
a day of golf.
This is
so
fun. This is going
once
to be
we
good.
get out of our once we get out of our round table,
right,
we'll be rolling along with golf. But in the meantime, the round table is where we just
and we are going
let
to
our hair down, like Steve and I. We let our hair down.
Yes,
and we talk about what's going on.
You and Steve kind of match in color today too. Did you guys talk about having a blending blue shirts?
We talk every night. And we go over our wardrobe.
We are going to stay on till 6:30.
Okay.
Well, we're staying on. We're staying on StreamYard till all morning long.
Paul and Steve are staying on 6:30 tonight.
We're
right?
all on it till 6:30 tonight. Yeah, till 6:30 tonight.
It's part of. It's part of.
So what do I say to Ray? Ray wants to know if he should still come over.
I told him no. I told him to help Steve so he doesn't sound like he's underwater. You
Okay,
sound
he's
underwater.
He's running from what? Steve, what is that you've got in your mouth?
What?
See? I
Oh
told
my
you.
God,
I told you
Steve.
about that.
Oh my God! What
I
next
told
is
you.
what next is going to happen?
We don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Jeez. All right.
We don't want to know. He's going to bring out some Hennessy next.
You can see Steve loves doing the show from home.
Oh yeah, yeah, he does.
When you're on the 8th floor, it's real hard to run down to the street level to smoke.
Well, during the 6:30 news, I'm going to start a load of wash.
Right. I do that all the time. Oops.
Oh, geez. And I can't even plug this in. All right. Well, let's see what happens here. The cord's not long enough on the old computer. It's long enough on the new computer. But because this is Apple, they don't use the same plug-in to charge the computer. Yeah.
How many computers do you have?
The ghost of Stephen Jobs.
He's got 3.
Well, I have two computers. One is my old one, which I kept active, and my new one. The third one was Kim's.
Oh, okay. And how many printers now? She frantically, while I was struggling, downloaded Barnyard because she didn't have it on her computer because I can't think of a good reason to have it on the computer. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Barnyard she was downloading. She didn't have Google Chrome.
Google Chrome is what you really
Which
have.
means Barnyard won't work without the Google Chrome.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
And how many printers are we up to now?
Well, we just have one because I've been burning them out. We have a second one in a box that is supposed to be a backup, but I haven't set it up yet.
What is this barnyard you keep talking about?
He calls StreamYard Barnyard.
StreamYard is Barnyard. In my world, it will always be. Thank you. He just came up with a
Paul W. Smith
extension
on
cord.
News Talk 760 WJR. Today's broadcast is presented
sure
by Quicken
Apple, they
Loans
say,
and the
please do
Rocket
not
Mortgage
use an
Classic,
extension
changing
cord.
the course for Detroit.
Unless
Find
you
out
buy it
more
from
how
Apple.
the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community and ending Detroit's digital divide at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Now, here's Paul W. Smith.
Well, it's a big day, and we are celebrating it with the Pro-Am for the Rocket Mortgage Classic, WJR, a part of all good and positive things. And so, for a recognition of our Detroit resiliency, the fact that the folks at Rocket Mortgage and Quicken have decided to make this far bigger than just golf in this whole idea of what they're doing about changing the community-wide effort, changing the divide, the digital divide, and making sure, committing to everybody having access to the internet, which we all take for granted. And some of us wish we didn't have access to the internet. Be that as it may, it's a new month. It is Wednesday, July 1st, the 183rd day of 2020, with 183 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And we have the gift of the old team back together, which we miss Mr. Steve Courtney being with us all the time. But things being the way they are, we have them when we can get them. And we appreciate that. Steve Aru, nice to have you with us.
Well, you can have any time there, Dub. I got nothing else going on.
Of course, Dick Hafner just finished our newscast. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it. Dana Clark, Traffic and Weather, and the passing scene.
It's hump day.
Did I do that already? Wednesday, July 1st? Did I do the rooster and everything?
Yes.
Boy, I'm out of practice. I'm on vacation, for God's sakes.
Right.
So I'm the only guy that works on vacation. I don't figure
What's
that
wrong
out.
with you,
Anyway,
man?
what's wrong with me? We do have
vacation.
Yeah, we have Brian back in the booth. We have Kim facilitating with extra wires and computers. And
I'd like to say Saint Kim. At this
Saint
point.
Kim,
Saint Kim, yes.
I'm a pleasure to be around when things aren't working. And then, of course, our executive producer, Saint Anne.
Good
and
morning,
comment.
Deb.
Yeah.
You
Good
do
morning.
look great, though. You look wonderful. We love your shirt. You're ready to go.
I'm
You
ready to
sound
go.
good.
I'm
Yes.
ready to go. I've got all the core messaging here written down. I printed everything, of course. And here, let me use something. See if you can think this is right off the top of my head. Detroit's signature PGA Tour event is back. See how the Rocket Mortgage Classic, in partnership with the city, is changing the course for Detroit by connecting the community. Did that sound like it was right off the top of my head?
Oh, it was excellent too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you should do this.
I think I'll do
You
this
should
for
do
a
this for a living.
little while longer. I will.
Changing the course is a great effort.
It's
Yeah.
a great
They're
idea.
doing is
The
amazing.
whole idea is incredible, and they are changing the way other PGA tournaments will follow this. No doubt, there's just no question about it. Other PGA tournaments will look to their communities and see what they can do for their communities beyond presenting a great golf classic. And I think it's fabulous. I do. I think it's fabulous.
Under very difficult circumstances this year, obviously.
Well, this year, this is
a year ago what they did at the Detroit Golf Club, and it was phenomenal. And again, there's going to be a 9-hole exhibition today with Bubba Watson getting together with Harold Varner III, going against former world number 1 Jason Day and Wesley Bryan. That's going to be 1 to 3. It's a 9-hole exhibition. You'll be able to check it out on the Golf Channel.
Used to be when we would have the Pro-Am, but there are no Pro-Ams now because there are no people that are involved. We're not even there at the golf course. We're still at home. And the governor says she won't announce Michigan moving to phase 5 of the reopening plan until after this holiday weekend. We're still going to have a lot of people out there, holiday, going crazy. And I got to tell you something. We know of one family with their child, more than a child, in their 20s, goes out, does everything that 20-year-olds are doing foolishly, comes home, gives her parents the COVID, and the father just passed away 2 days ago. Nobody is going to want to live with that. It's a horrific, horrific, sad story. I don't know what we can do to get the kids to understand that our cases are up to 63,870, and the death toll is 5,947 of souls, friends, family, neighbors, colleagues. And, poor President Trump, who cannot communicate well. Well, I just lost my, I said that and I lost my stream page. Stream just went away. Am I there? You kidding?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
can't see you. I moved the, I don't know. Yeah, it's gone now altogether. Let's see here. There we go. This is so annoying. I forgot what I was saying.
President Trump.
Oh,
who can't
President Trump
communicate.
can't communicate. He sounds stupid when he says things like, I told him to slow down the testing because the more testing, the more people. And what he means, I hate to interpret for him. It's making me sick, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
bad.
what he means is that the bigger numbers are not necessarily that more people are getting the virus, although I do believe they are. But what he means is the more you test, the more you're going to find. If you have 1,000 people and you test 5 of them, you might find 3 cases. If you have that same 1,000 people and you test 500 of them, you might have 203 cases. It's not necessarily just more people getting it. It's more people being tested, and therefore we're finding out more people have it. But he's not capable of simply explaining it just like that. And I'm losing patience with a guy I have known and supported in different ways for 30 years. I'm sorry. And I'll get hate mail from the Trumpers. But you know what? If you're a never masker, don't bother me because I have no confidence or respect for never maskers at a time like this.
Well,
Too
look at
many
it this
doctors.
way, look at it this way, Bob. It's going to be near 95 for the next 10 days. It wouldn't be so hot if we didn't have so many thermometers.
Right.
That is correct. That's the same
Excellent.
process.
Right.
That's the exact same. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If none of us had a thermometer, we'd just say, boy, it's hot out here.
Right.
But now we say, oh my God, it's 95 degrees. It hasn't become hotter, my friend, just because you have a thermometer. You just are more aware of the temperature, which kind of is not exactly what you were saying, but I'm telling you, that's how I look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Be that as it may, more people are getting it because more people are being stupid, not wearing masks, and not believing that this exists. I don't know how you
the
can.
biggest increase in new cases is between the years 20 and 29. People in their 20s are the ones who are seeing the big spike.
Because we foolishly told them, and they still don't get the message. We told them at the time it wouldn't affect them. And now they still don't think it really affects them because all it does is, makes it so they can't smell and taste. And I don't know what else, but some are dying.
Your story, Paul, your story this morning is very sobering about
they're bringing
the dad
it home.
getting it.
They're bringing it home to their parents and their grandparents, and they're dying.
Right.
Who can live with that? Seriously. 6:14.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
We've got it, our WJR Traffic and Weather, and we've got Dana Clark.
We are off to a busy start this morning. At least an earlier accident in Lincoln Park is now clear. Ford Street northbound between Champaign Road and Southfield Road clear. Still closed due to a crash. McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Evergreen. Also, fallen power cables, couple of spots. Auburn Hills, Featherstone, both directions eastbound and westbound between Bay Street and North Updike Road closed. It is expected to be shut down for the morning drive. Also, a block due to fallen power cables in Pontiac Updike, both directions between M59 and Featherstone. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the law firm of Victoria, Divorce and Family Law for Women Only. Family members and friends, pass this information on to your loved ones. Asset protection, best interest of the children. The conversation starts with the law firm of Victoria. Call 248-723-1600, victorialawfirm.com.
It'll be a dry start to July on this Wednesday. Clear early, then afternoon sun with a high of 87. Overnight, a clear sky with a low of 66. Sunny and hotter tomorrow with a high near 92 degrees. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on News Talk 760 WJR.
Okay, so I can't see the private message if I'm also looking at live comments. So he told me to do a commercial out of that. I didn't know it.
Are we in a commercial break right now, Deb?
Yeah, we are in a commercial break right now after a long, long pause waiting for me to do the live.
Association.
All righty. I believe I'm on now for this. Now more than ever, the safety and health of Michigan's people and communities are top priorities. That's why the Consumers Energy Foundation has donated more than $3.5 million to nonprofits across Michigan, delivering support to those affected by COVID-19. If you need assistance finding food, paying housing bills, or other services, call 211, that's 211, or visit mi211.org, mi211.org. Learn more about the Consumers Energy Foundation at consumersenergy.com/foundation. That's consumersenergy.com/foundation. It is 6:17 at News Talk 760 WJR.
If we're all going to be stuck in our house anyway, let's get some of those DIY projects done around the house.
The Inside Outside guys and their many team partners are here for you during these uncertain times when we are all stuck in our homes.
If you need emergency help or simply some home improvement advice, talk directly to the guys at 88.
So we're clear right now. We're in commercials.
So if the young folks would stop going to the bar, like make the drinks at home, people. There's a whole like cocktail list you can get. They're all, you see them all packed in.
Yes.
You're talking about kids at bars?
Yes, it's like they're all on top of each other. And I know it's hard for the business to actually, I guess, control people and not let certain, keep it down to a certain amount. And that 6 feet, that's out of the water.
You broke up. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah,
Other
it's
than 6 feet
I'm
out of
breaking
the
up
water.
all over.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
Well, the Senate voted to extend a small business relief program for 5 more weeks. The measure will go to the House next. I would assume that's going to go through. We are spending money like drunken Democrats, but we have to at this point. Another bit of good news: Jim and Sarah Harbaugh, U of M's fine football coach, in spite of what the newspapers are writing. Jim and Sarah Harbaugh donating $100,000 to United Way.
Oh, that's great.
Very nice of them.
Wonderful.
And so we do 2 pieces of good news to 1 piece of bad news, as we do our relentless positive radio, sometimes under the worst or toughest of conditions. New strain of flu found in China, the potential to become the next pandemic. Another type of the swine flu. From our friends in China, another great export from China.
Oh, gosh.
China. And but there is a organization of pigs who are upset that it's being called swine flu.
Sure, yeah, that's true. Good point, Deb.
They said,
actually, it's
why
not
blame
new.
us?
It's just new information.
Right.
This has been around for several years. China is just now owning up to it.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Imagine that.
It's that stunning news from our dear friends in China who have stolen information, intellectual property, have allowed people to counterfeit even medical equipment, parts for jets, and Steve, for you, more importantly, golf clubs. I'll never forget when I was in China and saw Ping golf clubs and TaylorMade and all of that, and I said, "Wow, man, they're exporting it." No, those are all knockoffs, and knockoffs with the government's approval. Not even just looking the other way. I mean, with the government's approval.
Yeah, if you see a golf club in China, Ping Ling, especially the name of their pandas. So that would raise an eyebrow immediately.
Ping Ling. Oh, yeah. We miss you, Stevie. Everyone misses you.
Can't tell you how happy I am to be up at 6:20 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. It's once you stop doing it, it's pretty nice. So we're all in an anger incubator. I think we see that. There's a lot of anger. I fear that it's going to get worse if we defund police departments. I don't know what people are thinking. I honestly, I don't know what people are thinking.
They aren't thinking anymore.
No, they aren't.
Just running off emotions.
You have some bad police officers, but far, 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 far more good ones than bad ones. And to then try to defund them, cut their resources, end the training that's so very important, and generally at the heart of the poorly or mishandled or flat out criminal activity that's happened it's just unfortunate. We're setting ourselves up for more. Nate Lashley, last year's winner of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. We've had a great conversation with him. I did not bring this up, but remember this. A number of years ago when he was playing, and his mother and dad and girlfriend followed him around and flew from place to place. And after one tournament, he hugged them all goodbye, and he never got to see them alive again because their plane went down. That's what made it so extra special and bittersweet when he won his first PGA Tour event last year at this event, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, at the inaugural. And it made it very special for everyone, and it was very emotional.
I wonder if he'll win again. What are his chances? Do you think he'll win again?
Steve?
Well, anything is possible, but since winning the Rocket Mortgage Classic, he has kind of faded away a little bit. But it's not the first time we've seen something like this where a player wins a tournament and then things go south a little bit. This season has been a bit kinder with 2 top 3 finishes before the tour paused for the pandemic. So we'll see. Obviously, he likes the course. He's proven that with a win, and we'll see. I think
he said he was fighting some injuries.
Well, it's been known to happen, but I think everybody's going to be rooting for him because, as you remember, a year ago, an exceptional story for all the reasons you mentioned there, Dub. And he captured the hearts of Detroit, and going into the second Rocket Mortgage Classic, people are going to be rooting for him.
You know who I'm going to miss? So we called him, and we're going to have him on because he was here for the inaugural event and did such a good job. Mike Tirico. Mm-hmm. He's not a part of this tournament this year.
Oh, he isn't?
Nope. He is not a part of this tournament this year, and I'm sad about that, but I'm glad that we are going to talk to him and get some of his thoughts. No, he's doing a very big deal this weekend for NASCAR and Indy. It's some kind of historic crossover. I guess this means they're going to be Indy teams and NASCAR teams at the same venue. Do you know anything about this, Steve?
I think it's going to be a race of both genres,
but not together.
Right.
So it's called Mike Tirico to host coverage of the Pagoda at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the first ever weekend featuring both NASCAR Cup and IndyCar Series races at the same track.
Right.
Wow, that sounds fun. That's cool.
So Mike will be covering that for NBC Sports, but he was such a good guy, and any excuse I have to talk to him. Ann Arbor's own, although he wasn't born there, but he has chosen Ann Arbor, at least last time we talked, as his home for quite some time. And we're looking forward to talking with him at 8:05 this morning.
So going back to that race, wouldn't that be something that Roger Penske and Bud Denker would have put together now that Roger...
Roger owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
That's a really clever idea. That's fun. That's great.
Well, we'll see. It's a big deal, that's for sure. And I'm going to ask him about, the whole Roger Penske, Bud Denker experience there now at the new Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Because here's all I can tell you. I know this. That beloved place is now much better than it was. And it will only get better because of Roger Penske and Bud Denker.
That's
no
true.
Matter how beloved and hallowed the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is and was, it was a little long in the tooth, is an expression they used to use. A little tired, a little in need of some tweaks. And the Penske guys are just the guys to do that, don't you think?
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Get Mr. Denker on that scooter. Go survey the premises and make necessary fix-ups.
One of these stories that I had here was asking, we're running out of time, but asking, this might be worth having this psychiatrist on. I generally am not big on these people that are pushed at us from these various PR people, because all they're looking for is to get attention for their person, not necessarily what's helping our listeners. But this sounds pretty interesting. A psychiatrist who has the 7 reasons why Americans aren't fighting back and are turning a blind eye to their country's destruction. Fear, disempowerment, PTSD. She's claiming that we're all suffering from PTSD going back to when the Twin Towers fell. And we're still suffering from it. Denial, poor education, disorientation, and self-destructiveness. I'll tell you that poor education is coming into play here. When you have these morons, anarchists, who are wreaking havoc for no good reason, I'm not talking about the protesters. There's a difference. But these morons who just recently tore down the statue of an abolitionist, a man who died fighting slavery, and they tore his statue down. Can someone tell me how that makes sense? No, they can't because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And leave George Armstrong Custer. He was a loser. He went into a battle he shouldn't have gone into and got massacred. What are you tearing his statue down for? Jeez. We're not even, don't even get me started. It is 6:28 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
We're going to let the team get back to work behind the scenes. Steve, who's doing his stretching exercises right now and showing off his muscles, Steve is going to stay on with me, and Ann will be coming in and out as well. But Dick and Dana, you guys. Oh, look. Wait a minute.
Stretching too.
All right. Bud Denker. Oh, listen to this. He must have been listening. Look at what Bud Denker. Our first race weekend at IMS to feature Indianapolis Motor Speedway, to feature both IndyCar and NASCAR for the first time. The facility looks amazing. We're ready despite no fans. God bless you for listening.
You go,
Bud.
Yep,
Team Penske, and as I said, they're going to be so ready, and it's going to be so much better from this day forward. We wish them well. We've got to get down there and do a broadcast from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yes.
Last time I was down there, it was for the pre-race. One of the car companies, probably Chevrolet, took us down, and I rode in a Corvette with a guy who was supposed to be the pace car driver, a big golfer. Steve, did I ever tell you this story, Steve? Because I can't remember who it was. But he ended up having to get shoulder surgery and couldn't do the pace car later. Oh, I can't remember who it was. Anyway, Dana Clark is waiting dutifully to do traffic and weather right here, right now at 6:29.
Paul W., a couple of spots out there to avoid McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Trinity Street closed there due to an accident. Fallen power cables along Updike, both directions between M59 and Featherstone Road shut down. Also shut down Featherstone, both directions between Bay Street and North Updike. Police expect that area to remain closed for most of the morning drive. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. It's going to be even hotter as week goes on. If you like it hot, this weather is right up your alley. Currently sunshine, 68 degrees. Add 20 to that, going up to 88. Lots of sun. Tonight, clear skies, low 66 for Thursday, sunshine, and 92 on Friday. Few clouds, mainly sun, and a high of 93. I'm Dana Clark. WJR News with Dick Hafner is coming up next.
I'm Justin Ho for the Marketplace Minute. The economy is changing so fast, it's hard to keep up.
Another COVID vaccine trial.
Weekly unemployment figures out today show that
Wjr is missing $2 billion that it said it had, but now can't.
Give us just a minute of your time, and we'll bring you the latest on what's happening in the economy, 3 times a day. We'll tell you what you need to know and why it matters, all in 60 seconds. Just ask your smart speaker to play the Marketplace Minute, or find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Detroit area freeway shootings are under investigation. Who is doing this? A woman was shot and killed when somebody pulled up to her SUV and opened fire on I-75 south of 8 Mile in the early morning hours of Monday. Her husband was also wounded. A gunman fired shots at a car which was driven by an off-duty Taylor police officer on I-94 on Detroit's west side. That car with the shooter in it sped away. Governor Whitmer says the plan to have the entire state move to phase 5 of her reopening plan is off the table because of so many new COVID-19 cases.
After 3 months of hard work and real sacrifice to bend the curve and to protect families from this virus, we have seen preventable spread in areas across our state. We can't let our guard down. We can and we must get this under control now.
The cases in the U.S. keep climbing. It may be a while before that trend comes to an end.
Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta says the U.S. took too long to fully address COVID-19.
The same strategies you would have used a month ago, the idea of sort of like maybe starting to incrementally let things happen. You can't do that now. We lost that chance.
And he says if Americans don't wear masks in public, the crisis will only get worse.
Hospitals will become too crowded. People won't have anywhere to go. The virus is going to dictate all that, and it's already happening in some of these places.
I'm John Lawrence.
The TSA has tweaked some of their policies to try to promote safe practices as more people now are flying.
The TSA's installed plastic shielding at many checkpoints, and agents are wearing protective gear.
They are all wearing a surgical mask. They are all wearing gloves, and some will be wearing face shields.
TSA Administrator David Pekoski says more lanes will be opened at checkpoints to spread out and speed up the process. Passengers will also be asked to self-screen boarding passes instead of handing it to an agent.
The city of New York has cut the police department budget by $1 billion. The mayor of New York is putting the money into social programs. Police layoffs will take place. Protesters have a tent city at a park next to the New York City Hall. The police are not welcome there. Seattle crews used heavy equipment to remove makeshift barriers around Seattle's occupied protest zone. Following a couple of murders in the no police area, people have occupied several blocks around a park and the Seattle Police Department's East Precinct for about 2 weeks. The city of Seattle is allowing the no police zone to continue. Reverend Robert Lee IV supports taking down Confederate statues. Robert Lee IV is the great-great-great-nephew of Robert E. Lee. Robert Lee said he grew up with the flag of the Confederates hanging in his bedroom. Sterling Heights wants to be considered for the future headquarters of the U.S. Space Command, which is the newest of 11 unified commands in the Department of Defense. The World Market Update, sponsored by Mother Waddles. Donate your car to Mother Waddles. Help the poorest of the poor. Call 313-WADDLES. Most of the overseas markets are up, and so are the Dow futures. I'm Dick Hafner, WJR News. More coming up with Paul W. Smith.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Treetops Resort. Palmer and Nicholas have graced their fairways. Mickelson has saved some pars here, and Trevino hit the shot heard round the world. It's time for you to add your name to the list of greats who have enjoyed spectacular golf at Treetops. Book your package today and make the easy drive to Treetops Resort. Championship packages start as low as $334 per person. Visit treetops.com. That's treetops.com.
At Henry Ford Health System, we've always been all for you. But what does that mean as we begin offering more services and lead our community through a pandemic? It means we're all for revitalizing Michigan through the health of its people, all for preventing illness as aggressively as we treat it. And especially now, it means being all for cleaning up, wiping off, scrubbing down, and repeating. Because we're all for getting back to the innovative care we're known for, and all for heart attacks stopped, cancer eradicated, and new life delivered. In uncertain times, know this: Henry Ford Health System is all for your family, our community, and the health of this great state, because we're all for opening our doors, hearts, and minds for you. Henry Ford Health System. All for you. See everything we're doing to maintain a safe, clean environment at henryford.com/all-for-safety.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
Nate Lashley is a PGA Tour veteran who secured his first victory on tour last year, here with his outstanding performance at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Especially special, if you will, because they're one of his sponsors, for goodness sakes. He shot 25 under par to win by a whopping 6 strokes. As the third alternate in the field, he shot 63 to take the first round lead and never looked back. I'll tell you what, it was an emotional victory for Lashley and for all of us watching, one that changed his career as a professional golfer for the better, and he joins us right here, right now on Opportunity Detroit. Nate, what a pleasure and a privilege it is to say hello to you.
Yeah, hey, Paul. I appreciate you having me on. It's great to always talk to people in Detroit.
Well, we are excited because you were the inaugural winner of the inaugural event. We're looking forward to this year's event. But tell me how life has changed for you since your victory last year. How was it different after all those years of grinding it out?
Well, I mean, a change. A win on the PGA Tour, changes a lot from your career standpoint for sure. It gives you the job security, gives you the confidence to go out and each week know that you belong on the PGA Tour. It changes a lot from a golf perspective and a career perspective for sure. You get to play in any tournaments you want. I get my first chance of playing in the Masters. I got to play the British Open, get to play the PGA Championship. So it gets you into a lot of great golf tournaments. And, also, like I said, probably the biggest part is all that confidence it gives you.
That really makes a difference, especially in a game that is so much in the head is on the course. And how about that? A chance to play at the Masters. And then look what happens with COVID-19. So you have to wait a little longer. So I guess that just means you can savor the upcoming opportunity a little longer.
Yeah, it was disappointing. Obviously, I was really looking forward to playing in April and getting to go to Augusta, play a couple times before the tournament. But none of that happened. But, obviously, hopefully in November, it's the same Masters that everybody knows with all the fans and the golf course
last Friday,
all the beauty that surrounds that golf course. Hopefully it's all the same, but
good.
We'll see. If I'm sure it's still going to be great. It's still the Masters, and it's still going to be wonderful to be there.
Well, that aside, and obviously the effect with the Masters, how has the pandemic impacted you and all the players on the PGA Tour? And how have you kept your game sharp during your time away from the tour?
Oh, well, I think it's impacted, players differently all over the country. I'm in Arizona, so our golf courses weren't shut down. So we were able to come out and play golf. I didn't play a whole lot of golf over the break, really, because I've been fighting some injuries, just some nagging stuff. So it was nice to have a little time off. I was planning on taking 3-4 weeks off, regardless. So for me, it was more about rest. And then getting my body in shape. And then just, a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks before, starting to play some golf, starting to practice, starting to try to get back into golf form. But, you never really can get fully back into golf form until you play a couple tournaments and realize what you need to work on. So just kind of doing a little bit of that this week and getting ready for Detroit next week.
Nate Lashley was the defending champion of the Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah, I got levels
sure
now.
That Detroit has a special place in your heart after winning here for the first time last year. Tell us a little bit about that and maybe what your expectations are as you return to defend your title this year, Nate.
Yeah, like you said, Detroit always going to have a special place for me. It's getting your first PGA Tour win. It's always a dream come true. Detroit, where the fans were so great to me, and I had such a great time at the tournament, and that last day was a lot of fun to see all the fans running along and pushing me along, and it's something I'll never forget, that's for sure. And I'll always look forward to coming back to Detroit and playing in the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Well, and to be invited back to ride on a float in America's Thanksgiving Day Parade, go to the Lions game, and frankly, in general, to be treated like a superstar.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't say I'm a superstar, but it was great. It was, getting to ride on the Rocket Mortgage float for the parade was something I've never experienced, and I had a great time doing it. It was a lot of fun. I'd do it again, in a heartbeat. Getting to go to the Lions game was a lot of fun. The Rocket Mortgage is great. They treated me unbelievably, and I'm just blessed that I won that golf tournament and get to be a part of the Rocket Mortgage family.
Well, it seems like it. I mean, they seem to be a pretty good sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're great. They have taken care of me. They've taken care of, done a lot of stuff for Detroit around, and a lot of people all around the country. I think people underestimate how great of a company Rocket Mortgage is and how much they care about everybody.
Well, a good sign of that, of course, and you're a part of this, so it's got to make you feel pretty good, Nate Lashley. This whole idea, this whole theme now of changing the course and ending the digital divide in Detroit, that is a very big deal and adds a whole new meaning and a whole new layer to the PGA tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, pretty much everything you do almost runs around the internet, and if you don't have access to the internet, it's pretty tough. So what they're doing in Detroit, and like you said, trying to close that gap on the digital divide and make sure everybody is able to stay connected, really, is a great thing. What they're doing, it's going to be great for the city of Detroit, and it's really wonderful.
I told you before we got on the air about our experience with our son, Jamie Geisinger, doing his best, grinding it out every day on the tour just starting out. What advice would you give to mini tour players out there?
I'd say, you got to play as much as you can. It seems like a lot of young players, they just practice. You see them out practicing and you say, hey, what are you playing in? And they say, well, I'm just not playing anything for a month or two. It's like, you need to be playing as many tournaments as you can. You traveling around playing the Canadian Tour, PGA Tour Canadian, PGA Tour Latin American Tour, anything you can play in state opens, because the more experience you get, the more you're going to know, what your game's about and being able to perform under pressure and stuff like that's probably the most important thing. And learning to control your mind, and that's how you're going to do it, is getting into competitive events.
Great advice. Anything else you want to say before I let you go?
No, I just, I appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to coming back to Detroit and hopefully can see some people to say hello. I wish the fans could be out there. It's disappointing, but, next year, I'll see them next year too. So, but just looking forward to coming back to Detroit.
Excellent, Nate. We wish you well. How about a back-to-back? That'd be kind of nice, huh?
That would be amazing.
It's all possible. Keep up the good work. Congratulations. Nice talking with you. We look forward to welcome you back as our defending champion of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Thanks, Nate.
Yep. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. As we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
And let's check it. Our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Dana Clark.
Unfortunately, this morning, a deadly crash. Paul W., we have a closure because of that accident along McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Trinity Street. Please avoid the area. Also in Auburn Hills and Pontiac, blocked due to fallen power cables. Avoid Updike both directions between M59 and Featherstone. And then Featherstone also blocked both directions between Bay Street and North Updike Road. Authorities do expect that area to remain closed for most of the morning drive. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Liberty Title, protecting property since 1974. A few quick tips from Liberty Title. Cybercrime and identity theft in real estate is a $2 billion industry. Make sure your title company is insured. There is no need for a split closing. Use only one title company and never close your transaction in a public place. You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com.
Temperatures will run above average to start off July today. Clear early, and then some afternoon sun with a high of 87. Overnight, a clear sky with a low of 66. And then a sunny day tomorrow, the high hitting the low 90s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on News Talk 760 WJR.
And on this Wednesday morning, first day of July, we have this week's IHS Market Minute with Jeremy Carlson. And brought to you by Auria. AURIA, Auria. Auria builds quiet. Auria builds comfortable. Auria builds durable. All of that into your vehicle. Auria. Jeremy?
The auto industry is ramping up efforts to address consumer concerns around the spread of COVID-19. In a recent survey of nearly 800 consumers in 5 countries, IHS Markit found that more than 81% of respondents are interested in antimicrobial features in their next new vehicle. 2/3 of respondents would pay up to $500 for it. Even before the pandemic, suppliers were working to address wellness concerns using antimicrobial surfaces and coatings, ultraviolet light, and advanced air filtration systems. Innovation continues with COVID-19 as fresh context. Automakers such as Ford are now evaluating the use of sustained high temperatures to disinfect interiors. Along with the prospect of more shared future mobility, in-vehicle wellness concerns are here to stay. I'm Jeremy Carlson with an IHS Market Minute.
With a lineage of proven performance, a collaborative approach, and strategic locations across the globe, ARIA is crafting the newest science of automotive acoustic and textile solutions. From acoustic products that reduce cabin noise to a wide range of flooring and other interior solutions that provide luxury, durability, and comfort, ARIA is creating the next wave of automotive innovation. To find out more, visit ariasolutions.com.
To say we're in some unusual times would be an understatement. As businesses and other operations start to reopen, you may want to start by disinfecting. So who do you turn to? The first call I'd make would be to Rose Pest Solutions. Rose has been protecting homes and businesses against pests and disease for 160 years. Their new disinfecting service, something not many companies have, safeguards all your customers and all your employees. Rose's broad-spectrum treatment effectively eliminates bacteria and viruses, including SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. They hit everything: doors, knobs, sinks, and virtually all high-touch hard surfaces. And the disinfecting process can be scheduled around your needs. This pandemic is our new reality for a while, so you might as well call on the best to help protect your people, your business, and yourself. For disinfection, Rose is the solution. Call Rose at 800-966-ROSE or go to rosepestsolutions.com to schedule a disinfecting appointment.
At Super Slow Zone, staying strong and healthy is more important than ever. Their private exercise studio can be your answer. No gym, no classes. 15 years experience with proven results. For your appointment, call 248-880-4576.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
Well, and we're catching up, Steve Aru, with an old pal of both of ours. He's an alum from News Talk 760 WJR. Now he has a really very nice job as the Mackinac Island Tourism Executive Director. I'm talking about the one and only Mr. Tim High. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, fellas. How's everybody?
Oh, everybody is great. A lot of people waited a long time, but Mackinac Island is open, and you're celebrating the 4th of July this weekend with the return of your annual fireworks show, the stone skipping, the international stone skipping competition. You got a lot going on, my friend.
Oh, we sure do. And it feels good to be as normal as we can be at this particular time. I'm looking out this morning and the sun's, rising up from the east, looking out over at the Mackinac Bridge. It's just in the glass water of the Straits of Mackinac. It's just absolutely beautiful today. It's supposed to be beautiful all weekend long, and we're just looking forward to as normal of a 4th of July as we can have, Paul W.
Well, and that's saying a lot, trying to make it as normal as possible. I hope that people are smart. I know that on the island, you're being very smart. You're making sure that people have masks. People are using gloves where necessary that are servers and all of that. You're doing the best you can to try to make sure people don't get sick when they're there.
We're doing the best we can, Paul W., and I'm so impressed with our members that have really continue to go out of their way to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. It takes full cooperation, though, and it would be, we need the cooperation of all of our members. We need the cooperation of all the visitors that come to Mackinac Island. Please expect to wear a mask, and if you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine. Please come next year. It's okay to say things like that. And don't expect if you're coming to Mackinac Island, don't expect everybody to have a mask on. That's okay to say as well. But everyone, for the most part, is trying so hard. In these times where there isn't just one voice out there telling you what's right or what's wrong.
Well, there's so much that is going on, Steve. I know you have your favorites on Mackinac Island. We all do.
No, there's no question about it. And normally, as we head into the 4th of July weekend, Timmy, great to hear from you as always. What are the numbers looking like? Obviously, under normal circumstances, the island absolutely packed at this time. What are the numbers looking like right now, Timmy?
Well, Steve, it's really starting to look a lot more like normal because on June 21st, Grand Hotel opened, and then on June 25th, Mission Point Resort opened. And those two resorts alone represent, close to 40% of the total rooms on Mackinac Island. So that really changes what the island looks like on an overnight basis. And then the day traffic has been, especially on the weekends, it's just been almost like a normal year. So a lot of day traffic, and that's what the researchers are telling us now, that people that are changing their travel plans for this year, a lot of them are taking the day trips and enjoying places like Mackinac Island, where you can get out and ride a bike and get on a horse or horse and carriage and get out and enjoy, the great nature.
I've spoken to Bobby Benser, of course, from the famous Fudge, and the owner of a few hotels and everything else he's got going there. I've spoke to Chris Shepler's Mackinac Island Ferry. They were all geared up. They were all raring to go. There was a lot of pent-up anxiousness and demand among the people who have businesses there, just like there's been pent-up demand for people who've been waiting to come, and now they're going to come. And this 4th of July weekend is going to be great. You can go to MackinacIsland.org for more information. And the famous National Stone Skipping Contest, started by Bill Raby, who used to be, I go back that long when I did the weekend show here or the other shows. Bill Raby used to be on all the time and talk about this. And last year, I had the pleasure of co-hosting a second banana to the gentleman who is Eric the Voice Steiner, who's a winner at that contest, and then his son won it last year. And so the competition will happen this Saturday, and it's going to be on, it's a little confusing, it's going to be on ESPN 3. Tell me the whole story on how the stone skipping contest is going, seriously.
Well, we're really excited about it because we're going to have 10 skippers this year, and we weren't, sure in a year like this would show up, but again, people are striving for normalcy. And then, so we're going to start at noon, and if you can't be on Mackinac Island, of course, we're not going to ask for spectators this year, so we're going to ask everybody to please watch it on ESPN3. It's the second year that we've been able to have this show shown nationally, and we think it's a fun little July 4th trademark to be known kind of like, sandwiches in there next to the Nathan's hot dog eating competition.
Right.
If people think 4th of July in Mackinac Island, that's we're all about it.
It's online live on ESPN3, and then is scheduled to re-air on ESPN the Ocho appropriately on August 8th, as in Ocho. I've been invited back, and I said yes, and now I can't be there. As you already know, I already told Tim I've got some issues that I have to deal with, and I'm not going to be able to be there, and I really, really look forward to doing this. It was a lot of fun this last year. You can imagine, Steve, you've done play-by-play and color for various sports, but I bet never for stone skipping.
No, I don't have that on my resume, sadly, but I have checked it out. I have seen it. As they've aired it on ESPN, fellas, and it does look like a lot of fun. And by the way, people take their stone skipping very seriously.
Oh, very seriously. They carry their rocks around with them, and they oftentimes. And I watched. Yes, we do. I watched the tape again the other day because I was hoping to be up there to do it again. And many of them, like little kids, you open up a little kid's hand and he's got a little car in his hand that he walks around with all the time. Many of these guys carry several rocks in their hands all the time. So they're throwing over this way, and in their other hand, they still have 2 or 3 rocks. I don't know, emergency rocks? I don't exactly know why, but it's something to see. And these guys do take it seriously. And what a year it's been for the Voice's son being the champion, huh? Running in the family there, Tim.
It's a great legacy that continues to live on, and it's a great place to celebrate the 4th of July. Stone skipping, fireworks, Mackinac Island.
And MackinacIsland.org is where you'll find all the information. And the guy who has all the information is the one and only Tim High, Mackinac Island Tourism Executive Director. Have a great holiday weekend there at Mackinac Island, Timmy.
Take care, Timmy.
And likewise to both of you, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks so very much. That's something extra special about Mackinac Island, Steve. That's for sure.
No doubt.
6:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Looking for an easier way to find your next job? It's time to get to know Express Employment Professionals. Visit expresspros.com to find one of over 830 locations to help support your workforce needs.
And let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first. And we've got Dana Clark.
Police are still investigating a deadly crash, Paul W., along McNichols, eastbound between Grand River and Trinity Street. That is closed there as police investigate that crash. Fallen power cables, couple of spots this morning, Auburn Hills and Pontiac. Updike, shut down both directions between M59 and Featherstone. And Featherstone, closed both directions between Bay Street and North Updike Road. Avoid the area. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Restore Wellness Center. Are you experiencing nagging body pain, tired of taking medication for relief? Neck and back arthritis, tendonitis, muscle soreness, and more. The Restore Wellness Center can help relieve or eliminate the pain completely and get you back to work. Reserve your appointment today. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. Things continue to heat up around here. Sunshine today, a high of 88. A slight chance of a passing shower this afternoon. Otherwise, remaining dry throughout the weekend. Clear skies tonight, low 66. Even hotter on Thursday, sun and 92 and 93 expected on Friday. Sunshine, 68 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in about 2 minutes.
Picture this. A shortage of fuel has closed your electric utility, or any other possible disaster devastated your town. You're out of power, no lights, no news. That's why federal and state agencies urge you to have an emergency radio. Now you can get a free Dynamo World Band emergency radio. This powerful radio lets you stay informed during any type of emergency. It doesn't even need batteries. It comes with a hand crank generator and super bright LED flashlight. The Dynamo emergency radio includes the NOAA weather band, a long-range AM receiver, a high-sensitivity FM band, and even a USB jack to charge cell phones or other devices. The Dynamo emergency.
That's what I was talking about, Ann. We were hearing everything the whole time, but now he just cut it off. Or you cut it off. Somebody cut it off.
I did. I took the commercials out of the live stream.
Gotcha.
So when you come back at 7:05, you and Steve can chat for a little bit about today and the classic. And then Jeff Sloan, you can go to Jeff Sloan. And then at 7:18, our guest should be in the stream. So Rob should be in the stream.
So Timmy couldn't be?
He was not able to. Remember the last time we had him? He had kind of a rough time with the connection up on Mackinac. So he was concerned about that. So he opted.
He was on, but it didn't work
well. It was fine, but it was just a little bit... he didn't think it was a great connection. I don't know where he was. Well, maybe at his house in the island. I don't know.
But I think his house is in Mackinac City. I don't know. I don't know where he is now. But that worked. I mean, it was good.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I gave him the option, and he opted for the phone.
We get to look at Steve's house in the background there. Cool.
I think we're looking at the kitchen, aren't we?
Yeah, it looks like the kitchen there. Here he comes. Shh, don't say anything. Do I need my headphones? He doesn't need the headphones.
He should. He should have headphones.
Is that what the hollowness is?
We think maybe it would help him.
How am I sounding? I made some adjustments.
Let's get closer.
Yeah, if you're closer to
Bring
your
that
microphone.
laptop closer, Courtney.
I can't bring it any closer. It'll fall off the table.
Can you get
bring
closer to
yourself
it?
Closer? Oh, there you go, Steve. That's very nice. Now, Steve, are we looking at your kitchen? We were just speculating.
We love your kitchen. It's nice.
Yeah, the cabinets are sharp.
Yeah, thank you. It's all state of the art.
We noticed that.
I just went and turned on my sprinklers.
Oh, okay.
You don't go on automatically?
All it makes me want to do is pee. I got to go pee.
Courtney, we're live.
He knows that.
I know. Courtney, why can't your body get closer to the laptop? Paul and I were wondering.
I can be as close as you want. How's that?
That sounds good. I mean,
And I got Ray Templin.
We should have let him just put the computer, let it fall off the table to show that he could have actually moved rather than moving the computer.
Ray is suggesting to me that you could be closer to the laptop.
Tim High.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that sounds very nice, Steve.
Hey, Steve. I don't mean to put you on the spot on camera here, but I'm going to.
Mhm.
I was suggesting to Tim High that you fill in for me Saturday at Mackinac Island.
Well, where do I get the plane?
The private plane?
Yeah. I'll get right back. He said, where do I get the plane?
You better be careful.
I have got a,
Knowing Tim
major-
High, he might send a plane for you, Steve.
I have got a major golf tournament Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, the Rocket Mortgage Classic?
No, this is a high dollar deal with some Irish drunkards. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Just
This
did.
job pays, by the way. One of the few that I do, but it does pay, by the way. This job, the thing.
The stone skipping.
Yeah.
The stone skipping pays.
Just so you know. Probably more than you can win with your big golf tournament, depending on how you roll. But I'll let you talk to Tim High if he hasn't asked somebody else before the end of the show. I told him yesterday during the day I wasn't going to be able to make it, which is very sad. I really want to be there, but I've got some issues.
Yeah, it sounded like you had a great time, and if I had more than like 3 days notice, I might have been able to help them out.
Yeah. Boy, I wish I could do it. Anyway,
Next year, Dub. Next year.
that's what he said. But they'll get somebody who does a good job. They may not ask me back.
Mm.
But anyway, it is a lot of fun.
Oh, look at this, Paul. Take a look at your screen, please.
Uh,
Our Spartan is masking up.
Wait a minute. Oh! I was looking at the message private chat. I don't know what this
Take
is.
a look at our
There you go.
our Spartan has masked up.
I
That's
see
sharp.
that. Yeah,
I
that's
like
nice. Looks nice.
Do you have a Wolverine one, Dub?
I don't. I have a bunch of different ones.
Steve, I want that.
Well, I bet it's achievable for the right price.
Yeah.
Everything's for sale.
I have this one. This one I like.
I like that too.
I haven't worn it yet for fear of being beaten.
It's 3472.
Wear it
We'll
outside.
even review your MRI
I'll
for
see
no
you
charge.
later.
Call
I have a
586
variety.
416
I
disc.
have a variety
Reclaim
that
your
delivers
life.
charity. But I think Kim look what Kim got me.
This is Paul W. Smith on News Talk 760 WJR. Today's
Look at
broadcast
that.
is presented by Quicken
There you
Loans,
go.
How great is that?
Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Honey, was
Changing
that
the
a
course
surprise for me
Detroit.
that you'd
Find out
didn't
more
give
how
me
the
yet?
Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community and ending Detroit's digital divide at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Now, here's Paul W. Smith.
Good Wednesday morning to you, or as Dana would say, it's Hump Day. The 1st of July, new month. Here we go. Goodbye, June. Goodbye, 2020, but not yet. The 183rd day of 2020. There are 183 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and this is the day of the Rocket Mortgage Classic kickoff. Here on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR, we've asked alumnus Steve Courtney to come by. Is it alumnus or alumni? It'd be alumnus, one person.
Yeah.
We've asked Steve Courtney to come back to the program. We miss him every day. We're glad that he's here with us right now.
Always a pleasure, Dub. You know that. And, I remember like it was yesterday being out at the beautiful Detroit Golf Club and getting this Rocket Mortgage Classic thing kicked off a year ago. And unfortunately, we had no idea what was heading our way.
Nope.
But, the folks in charge there, and they're very talented, going to make sure that this tournament, the second time around, goes off without a hitch.
Jason Langwell and his team, part of which we'll meet today, worked so very hard last year. It became an award-winning tournament for an inaugural event. That was pretty incredible. And this year, they worked extremely hard as well. And then they faced all of the challenges that that all events, including golf tournaments, but all events have gone through. But still, the Rocket Mortgage Classic is going to provide that opportunity to showcase Detroit to the world, and it's all positive. And they're also going to help Detroiters. They've changed the whole complexion of what hosting a PGA tournament means and what it will do for its community as they bridge the digital divide. We've already realized and talked about that people who don't have access to the internet don't have access to a lot of opportunity. And that's changing, or that's going to change with what they've got going on here with the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which, by the way, did I take this? Did I say it's today is a special, what did you call today's event?
Just a 9-hole exhibition going to be going on the back 9, and it features Bubba Watson, Harold Varner III. They will be going against former world number 1 Jason Day and Wesley Bryan. Again, this will be going on the back 9 from 1 to 3, and it will be televised on the Golf Channel.
Oh, it will be. Good. And that's not listed in my newspaper listing here because they don't have any television coverage until tomorrow. But so it's good to know the Golf Channel today. But tomorrow and the next day, July 2nd and 3rd, Golf Channel coverage starts at 3. July 4th and 5th, the Golf Channel at 1 p.m. and CBS at 3 p.m., which means our friend Mike Tirico, the world's greatest television sports announcer now, hasn't it been great to watch him just get better and better and take on more and more responsibilities? But he's with NBC now, but we still asked him to come be on the program, and he'll be here at 8:05 and talk about his remembering this, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, the inaugural event, and he's going to be doing this weekend. We've heard from Bud Denker and Team Penske at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Pretty big doings going on there.
Yeah, Mike is just a true pro, good friend, and he has done so well. And it doesn't matter what sport. So looking forward to our conversation with him.
Hey, I've been waiting to ask you this question about Bryson DeChambeau. They've been making a big deal out of how much bigger he is this year. Is it just that he followed kind of a weightlifting regimen? What's different?
Well, there's a lot going on there. I mean, obviously, Bryson took it upon himself to bulk up, and there's a reason for that. He has added 20 pounds, and it's unbelievable what he has. All right, now for breakfast, and I don't advise everybody to do this, he has 4 eggs, 5 pieces of bacon, and 2 protein shakes. Throughout the day, according to reports, he munches on Go Macro bars and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while drinking at least 2 more protein shakes on the golf course. After that, he'll snack, he'll practice, and then for dinner, steak and potatoes, we're talking about roughly 3,000 to 3,500 calories.
Wow.
Now, Bryson's frame has changed drastically.
What's that?
His frame has changed drastically. When other tour players saw him for the first time, it was like, what's happening here?
They didn't recognize him. But has it improved his? Has he added a lot of yardage to his drives and stuff like that?
Yeah, he's playing some really good golf right now. As a matter of fact, I've got some raw numbers here. 5-time PGA Tour winner, 2015 U.S. Amateur and NCAA Division I champion, and he's having a pretty darn good year as far as top 10s go, tournaments played. So he is on the cusp. And by the way, he has been installed as one of the favorites going into this second Rocket Mortgage Classic.
We got, among others, Jason Day. We got Bryson, as we mentioned, Ricky Fowler, Kevin Na, Webb Simpson, Bubba Watt. We got a lot of good golfers in this event starting today, and we're happy to be a part of it here.
18 of the top 50, Dub.
18 of the top 50, and which is pretty good considering some of the things that have happened where some tournaments have been moved around, and there's going to be one location where there are 2 tournaments, which makes it a lot easier for golfers. Instead of having to pack up and move, they'll get to stay in one location for a couple of tournaments, which they're all excited about. And that changed some things around. But anyway, it's great golf, and you'll be able to watch it on television. You won't be able to go, but you'll still enjoy it. 7 to 12 at 760 WJR. Steve Courtney, along with Paul W. and Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of Startup Nation, spotlighting the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR. Local, mainstream merchants. Good morning, Jeff.
Listen, these Main Street merchants, these are the restaurants and shops that we love so much. And now, we've taken them for granted, absent from our lifestyles. We can't wait till they can reopen. They're suffering an incredible plight right now. Not only are they closed now, but with each passing day, they're facing the reality they may not be able to reopen. These are our friends, neighbors. They pay taxes to our local municipalities. They employ local people. Their kids go to school with our kids. Know this, roughly 70 cents of every dollar spent locally at a local merchant stays right here in our communities to improve schools, sidewalks, parks. We can't afford to lose these merchants. Here are some tips and reminders for all of us as we try to get them through this tough time and get onto the other side of all of this. Check out your community's local website, city or county, to see a list of restaurants and markets where you can do curbside pickup. But when choosing one, choose a locally owned restaurant or shop, independently owned if you can. Check out social media accounts as well, whether those by the city or county or even groups now wanting to support local shopping. Some stores now have converted their websites from just a brochureware type website to an actual e-commerce website. Some are offering merchandise you can buy. That's right. Don't just be a customer, be a fan. Purchase gift cards for future shopping, buy a package of future lessons, or if you go to a yoga studio, buy a package of future sessions that you can use later. Some stores you can even donate to through local GoFundMe campaigns. If they're available, do that as well. And listen, just help spread the word to your friends and neighbors to support our local merchants. Even now, even though they're closed, there are still ways we might be able to do business with them. And let's do it if we can. Our towns and communities won't be the same without these local shops. That's today's Business Beat on WJR. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com.
This report is sponsored by Tax Chat by EY. Get your taxes prepared and filed fast.
The tax deadline is July 15th. Have a refund? Let the tax professionals at EY prepare and file your taxes for you, all without paper documents or complicated tax software. Get a free no-obligation quote right now at tax.chat. Download the Tax Chat app or call 1-833-TAX-CHAT.
7:15. Let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first. Miss Dana Clark.
Still dealing with a deadly crash investigation along McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Trinity Street. A close there as police investigate that collision. Also, an area police are telling you to avoid Auburn Hills and Pontiac block due to fallen power cables. Updike both directions between M59 and Featherstone Road is blocked there. And Featherstone, both directions between Bay Street and North Updike, also blocked because of those cables. Authorities expect that to remain closed for most of the morning drive. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Expect dry conditions and above average temperatures heading towards the 4th of July. Starting off July today, clear early, then afternoon sun with a high of 87. Overnight clear, the low 66, and sunny tomorrow with a high of 92. And from the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on News Talk 760 WJR.
Okay.
Join Frank Beckman July 1st from 9 till noon for the Rocket Mortgage Classic Pre.
They didn't send anything on Rob Kroll.
No, the only thing they sent
is
what,
talking about corporate support.
You know what? I'm going to bring Rob in for you, and you can ask him.
Right, I got to do a commercial here.
Okay, I'm just going to bring him in, and then when you're done with the commercial, you can.
Brian, I'm ready for the commercial out of the commercial that's on right now. I don't know if you can hear me, and I can't write it to you.
I'll tell him that. Hang on.
Right out of this.
Paul is ready.
Paul W. here. Over the past few years, I've really enjoyed talking to you about Victor's Roofing. Victor's really has a great story. Here's a guy who came over here with his parents, legally immigrating to this country when he's like 14, followed his dad around into the roofing business and watching and working. And today, talk about an American success story, only in America. Today, Victor owns and operates one of the most successful roofing companies in all of Michigan. And they do everything from roof repairs to complete replacements. Lately, of course, you know that I've been passing along Victor's message about roof maintenance, and they have this, first of all, most of us don't even think about maintaining. We think, okay, it's time to repair or replace our roof, but there is a third choice. It's called maintain, and it's going to pay off for you in big ways. And Victor's Roofing is the exclusive dealer of what they say is the best roof maintenance product on the market. It's called Roof Max, and Roof Max is an all-natural rejuvenating oil that hydrates your shingles and extends the life of your roof by up to 15 years for just a fraction of the cost of a total roof replacement. When I first started talking about Roof Max, I said it was like moisturizer for your roof, and I think that's still what it is, and it can save you thousands of dollars. An excellent cost-saving alternative if you've been hit, like all of us have been, by COVID and all the problems. But you still have to take care of your roof because that takes care of your family, and it's your major investment. So whether it's a complete roof replacement or repair or extending the life of your roof and saving you a lot of money, you can do it with Victor's Roofing and with Roof Max. Call today for an appointment at 734-6666-914. Call Victor's Roofing, 734-6666-914, or book an appointment online at victorsroofing.com. That's victorsroofing.com. Heading towards 719 with Paul W. JR.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing great. Welcome.
Hey, Rob. Nice
Thanks.
to see you, man.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, and I'm glad we can actually say that.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Anything in particular that's important to you you want me to bring up or mention as the tournament director?
I think the big things for us are bridging that digital divide and digital literacy in Detroit, and the funds that we're going to raise here to help bridge that gap. That's a big push for what we've done. We're going to have some amazing golf out here. Been watching these guys practice the few days. We're going to have world's best golfers, so we hope everybody tunes in across Golf Channel, CBS, all that sort of stuff. But we're going to do some amazing work for the community as well. And we've had some great partners step up, local partners, the Delta Dentals of the world, obviously our title partner, really step in and help bridge this gap with us. So those are a few topics on my mind, I guess, but wherever you guys want to go, we can chat.
Excellent. And we'll be on the air. Obviously, we have our viewers on social media right now listening in, but we'll also have the rest of the radio audience joining us in a moment. And in the middle of a break.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
7:20, 20 minutes after 7, the Rocket Mortgage Classic committed to changing the course, as you just heard, by bridging the digital divide in Detroit as a step in driving greater equality in the community. And our mission there for them is to ensure that all Detroit residents have access to the internet, technology, information they need to stay connected. We take it for granted. We come in, we throw a light switch, we come in and we turn on our computer and we're online, and we don't have a problem. We're on the other side of the digital divide, but a lot of people are not. And the guy who's working hard on that is a gentleman who is vice president and tournament director, Rob Kroll, who's on the other end of our line and also on social media with us. Rob, as they say in show business, break a leg today.
We're going to do it. Got great. I'm out here at the Detroit Golf Club right now. Players are flowing in for practice rounds. Got a lot of exciting things. One thing that we didn't talk about, we've got Bubba and Friends happening this afternoon that'll be live on Pga Tour Live, which should be super cool. Something that Bubba brought to us, said, hey, I want to do this for the community, create this kind of charity match with him and Harold Varner III. So they're going to be out here around 1 o'clock and that'll be on PGA Tour media channels. But really cool, something that, Bubba gave to our organization last year when he came in town and really kind of fell in love with Detroit. We got him a Shinola bike and the whole deal. So he's really leaned in and helped us a lot. So that should be a fun little offshoot that just kind of bubbled to the surface here in the last few days.
Steve Courtney was telling us about that earlier. It's a very cool deal. I didn't realize it was Bubba inspired, but how cool is that when the players are so into the whole idea of what you're doing with the Rocket Mortgage Classic that they come up with fun little things like this. And Steve, PGA Tour media channels, is that different than the Golf Channel? That's something else, I guess.
Well, when I said that, I just meant, it's going to be on Golf Channel, but they'll also stream it on all the, they've got platform after platform that they stream it, and you can get content across their owned kind of media channels.
I got you.
Yep.
All right. For those of us who have not tuned into all those channels, we can find it. And again, Golf Channel's easy enough. You say you speak into your remote now. What if we didn't have these great things, huh? You just speak into it and it finds the channel. What are you looking forward to, Mr. Courtney? You got the tournament director, Rob Kroll, with us.
Well, I think it's important as we're discussing the second go-around of the Rocket Mortgage Classic with Rob, just how different, Rob, it has been in preparing for Take Two in this COVID-19 era. One thing that has not changed, much to your delight, sir, is the support that you have received from corporations. And obviously that is very important.
It's vital to what we do. At the end of the day, we are the Rocket Giving Fund. We are a nonprofit that, as Paul talked at the top of the show here, we're trying to bridge the digital divide. All of our net proceeds go back to that. So when the whole pandemic hit, we were kind of sorting our way out of this. We had some choices to make. We leaned in with the PGA Tour. The tour didn't want a year to go without a tour stop in Detroit, brand new city, great market for them. So we needed to find a way to do this and also do it in a manner that would engage the community, give back to the community. So we crafted it with a lot of our stakeholders here locally, community leaders, corporations, certainly our title sponsor Rocket, and created, it kind of came to us really the bridging the digital divide from the pandemic. It all of a sudden it kind of shone a glaring light on a lot of the inequities that we all knew were out there. If you don't have internet service at the basic form, you're probably not applying for a job online. You're not going to school virtually. I know I've had a couple doctor's appointments, telemedicine. So we found out Detroit was the least connected large city. So we're devising a long-term plan. This isn't a one and done, hey, throw some money at it. This is us digging in long-term and helping the community that we live in, that we have this great tournament in, to bridge that digital divide. And we've had a lot of great corporate support. Delta Dental here locally, the Children's Foundation and our friend Larry Burns, Cadillac, JP Morgan Chase, Amerisher. When this stuff happens, you don't know how corporate's gonna or business is gonna respond. Well, they have responded over the top with support and helping us and leaning in. So we were very happily surprised, and it's really made this a go, that support.
I think it's fabulous that though Mike Tirico can't be here for the actual tournament because of his duties over at the Speedway, that he is going to be hosting the virtual tee times where fans can watch interviews between Mike Tirico and the golfers today. And he's going to be on our show with us a little later at 8:05. So we're looking forward to that. Great. Meanwhile, so that people understand, it's not just, and this is a big deal, bridging the digital divide is huge. And that's the long-term plan. But understand this, of the inaugural Rocket Mortgage Classics vendors last year, 85% were Michigan-based. Nearly half were Detroit-based, and more than a quarter were diverse. Of the 2019 Rocket Mortgage Classic, of course, I mentioned earlier, won all those awards, but they won the PGA Tour's first ever Fairway Award, recognizing it as a leader for its diversity and inclusion initiatives. That's what they've been doing since the beginning planning stages. That's what they did last year. Now more than ever, when it's brought to our attention, the problems in our country, you're doing it again. And I salute you for that. That's a very big deal, Rob.
Thanks. That is who we are, what we are. It's in our DNA to be diverse and inclusive. We've got a great location here at the Detroit Golf Club, and that is, you talk about bridging the digital divide. Those other topics are very at the center of what we do and giving opportunities to folks. And we won 3 Pga Tour Awards last off season. We were the most awarded tournament out of any tournament. And the diversity and inclusion, the fairway, the inaugural award went to us, and that was the one we were most proud of.
Very cool.
And players talk about that. I mean, coming off the first one a year ago, the tour discusses what goes on at various tournaments, and this one was much heralded, and that's awesome. And usually we get to this point of a tournament week and we start thinking about the weather. Something's living right because it's going to be outstanding all weekend long.
Yeah, I'm in control of that. I've been in control of the weather for 2 years.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Something that's so.
Yeah, if it were raining cats and dogs, I bet somebody else was in charge of it.
I delegate that. You guys are in charge of it then.
Yeah, then it's ours. Hey, have fun. Thanks for this. The Rocket Mortgage Classic Tournament Director, Vice President Rob Kroll. Thank you, Rob. Have a good one.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We support you all the way, as you know, as we continue at almost 7:29.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first at 7:29. Dana Clark.
McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Trinity Street closed. Unfortunately, deadly accident this morning. Police are on the scene investigating. Also in Genesee County, I-475 southbound closed between I-69 and Bristol Road. A crash there. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Chris Furniture. Chris Furniture thanks God for getting us through this hardship and celebrates the 4th of July with deep discounts on new orders and in-stock furniture. Chris Furniture is open now by appointment only, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call today, 734-427-3080. If you like it hot, we get more of the same today. Lots of sunshine, a high of 88 tonight, clear, low 66. For Thursday, sunny and a high of 92, hitting 93 on Friday. Sunshine, currently 70 degrees. I'm Dana Clark. WJR News with Dick Hafner is coming up.
Detroit area freeway shootings. Police say a woman was shot and killed. Someone pulled up to her SUV with her husband also in the...
Everybody okay, Dubster?
Yep. Everything's good.
All right. So maybe you and Steve can just chat coming out here.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help Tim I here. I'm sensitive to energy. He should ask Guy Gordon if Steve can't do it. Don't you think? I think this guy up north usually anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what he's got going on, but I mean, hell, he's got to be there Saturday.
Yeah.
Notice
for just an hour. That almost looks like a cigarette. I know it isn't because you told me you were stopping a long time ago.
It's a doobie. It's legal now.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
Man, oh, man.
Courtney, you're insane.
We miss you, Stevie. We miss you and your bad habits.
Well?
What's that?
Everything going well?
Yeah. I'm just struggling with some issues, but I'll get them resolved one way or another.
Oh, Diane doesn't like that you're smoking, Courtney.
Yeah, well, nobody does. See, I can't look at the live comments and get the private chat notes from Brian. That's just kind of annoying.
Well,
I
you can
apologize.
go,
I'm working on it.
Paul.
What? Yes.
I can put some of the comments up. So, like right there.
Oh, okay. Then I can see them and stay on
So
the
if you
private
stay on
chat,
the private chat. Mm-hmm.
which is hard enough to follow. Smoking? Really? I'm with you, Diane.
So
It's
Patrick-
2020.
I apologize, Diane. It doesn't make me a bad person.
No, but we worry about you. We want you to live.
Well, I'll be on a treadmill later for 45 minutes. So,
Oh, that takes
that
care
before
of the
golf?
lung problem.
no golf today.
He's saving himself for tomorrow.
Friday and Saturday, and then maybe Sunday.
Oh wow! that's
Wait,
quite a bit of golf.
Oh, it's only Wednesday. I'm so
Yeah.
messed up. Coming back from vacation to do one show. Kind of upside down.
We appreciate this stuff.
Well, I'm happy to help. This is an important event. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be out on the course. Not happening.
That would be the best. What a ride it was a year ago, and I don't know. I just don't have a very good feeling about what's going on in this nation of ours.
I think there's a lot of people that are with you.
Yeah, there's not a lot to feel good about. It's not a lot to feel good about.
Paul had
Stevie.
some sobering statistics earlier.
Yeah. You know who's good is Walter Williams is a spectacular journalist. And, we got a note from Judge Mester where he said he was sending along this Walter Williams piece. Walter is a professor of economics at George Mason University. And he's been writing as a conservative for a very long time. And he has a piece called Insults to Black History, which I think is eye-opening, and I would recommend that fellow Americans read this. It's online under Town Hall. It was so interesting that, in fact, I was worried. You have to, when someone sends you anything now on the internet, you can't trust it. People make things up. People sign people's names to stuff. But this one, after the judge told us about it, I looked for it and found it on the I don't know, what did I find it on? One of those things online that you can find news pieces and stuff. On the Drudge report. God, I was starting to feel like Joe Biden. Anyway, but on the Drudge report, under the people who write pieces, you can go down the list and you'll see Walter E. Williams and look for the one called Insults to Black History. Very illuminating, very interesting, for sure.
Wow. All right. Well,
And frankly, only a black man journalist could write this without being called a racist. I'm afraid, which is unfortunate, but the truth. So we're just going to chit chat here.
Yep. I'm going backstage.
Well, you can stay on here with us if you feel like it.
Stay on stage, Ann.
Stay on stage. Don't leave us.
I'm not dressed in blue though.
Oh, well, in that case, go change. What does your shirt say? Oh, it says it's a Nike swoosh. Okay.
I do have a blue hat on though, Paul.
Uh-huh.
Detroit Golf Club.
That's very appropriate.
I'm trying to be like you with your logos.
Got logos. Yes. Can you tell? I can't tell because you guys are so small on my screen. I guess because they have the private chat, the live comment section, so the boxes aren't big. But can you read this as Rocket Mortgage?
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
Now, we are covering the Rocket Mortgage Classic as we would as if we were there, and that means we also cover other news. And, of course, the other news is Governor Whitmer has announced the state will not advance to the fifth phase of her reopening plan by this weekend. She had hoped to do it. She had originally planned to do it. But don't you think along the way things are going, that those of us who have followed the rules, those of us who have self-quarantined, social and physically distanced, wear masks, wash our hands when we go out and come back in, wash them again, and the masks when we go out, all of that. All of us who've been doing that, the right thing, to have us now slip backwards and go the wrong way is not a good thing. Dr. Anthony Fauci saying yesterday, the U.S. could see 100,000 new cases a day, citing surges that put the entire country at risk. Now, understand, part of that, and it's disingenuous to say there's 100,000 new cases, it's gotten much worse. It is getting worse because people are being yahoos, not wearing masks, not doing the things they have to do. It's a very real problem. This is a very real virus that is very dangerous, very spreadable, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality, too, and unfortunately our president can't communicate this as simply and clearly as I am now, and that is we're having much more testing, which is what people pushed for. And with much more testing, we are finding more people who are sick. But the difference is this: if there were 1,000 people in our universe and we tested 5 people, we might have 2 people that are sick. But if you test 500 of those 1,000 or 750 of those 1,000, as we're doing now, you're going to have a lot more people sick with the problem. And so that has to be taken into consideration. I still believe there are more cases, new cases, because of people being so dangerous and not following the rules. But we have to understand that with more testing comes more cases because we gain more knowledge. And frankly, I've said it from the beginning, I'll say it again, the tests to me are ridiculous. Why? I got tested. I was found to be negative. I could have been infected the next day.
Right.
That's the problem with testing, which goes back to what I said, and now they're finally saying, and that is, if we pretend that everybody has it and that we have it, we'll all cover up, we'll put the masks on, we'll social distance, we'll wash our hands often, try not to touch our face or our new beards, and in 14 days we can get rid of this. So, frankly, it's
but does the end game
bothersome.
What we're experiencing right now, Paul, shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Look, we went through some very difficult times, going back to March, and everything shut down, as did the economy. And it was very tough on a lot of people. But this is a very dangerous virus that is very easily spreadable. So now we've got all these states that are skyrocketing.
Right.
Dr. Fauci says 100,000 new cases a day, not going to be out of line. He also said that once the vaccine is available, there's going to be a lot of people who won't get it.
Yes, we talked about that. A vaccine's worthless if you can't get everyone to take it, and we won't get everyone to take the vaccine. Right. The no maskers,
they'll never do it.
All those people, they're not going to then line up for a vaccination, which, by the way, will not have been tested the way most every vaccine in our lives have been tested. They won't be run through tests for years, and to find out 3 years from now, you grow a second head when you've gotten the shot. We won't know that. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are not going to rush to go get a vaccination when they're not certain about it. That's this whole thing has been so poorly handled, and not just by President Trump, although the Democrats want you to believe that. Their new line is, well, the president did not cause the virus, but, well, don't give me a but. Get off your big butt. If you weren't trying to impeach the guy and do everything else, maybe his attention could have been on this a little bit more than his attention had to be with the constant impeachment trials and problems. Be that as it may, there have been lots of mistakes here, and there's enough blame to spread around a lot of places, even going back other administrations that didn't stockpile the emergency personal protection equipment that we needed, period. Now,
we have to get used to here. There are scientists that are saying, look, people are talking about containing COVID-19, let alone eradicating. Many under the impression that this will become a part of everyday society, much like chicken pox. So this is where we're at right now, folks. I mean, I hate throwing out the term new normal. What is that going to be?
No, I don't know. I'm not agreeing to a new normal yet. I just think for the period of time until we get a grasp on this thing, I believe there are a lot of scientists working hard. Frankly, there are a lot of entrepreneurs working hard because they understand the golden circle there are entrepreneurs working because this will make them billionaires if they come up with either a cure or B, a safe and usable vaccination. I mean, that's why so many people are working hard on this. That's the bottom line with all this stuff. But here's the thing. We rush and do stuff. How about this? We come up with what's called a rapid test, and everyone goes, wow, that's great. That's the answer. 70% of the rapid tests have been wrong.
Oh, geez.
What kind of an answer is that? How does that help? It doesn't help.
No.
That's part of the problem that's going on here when we have CDC, the worthless health organization, and others running around like with chickens with their heads cut off. It's just really not so good. We've certainly exposed some horrific flaws in our system that better be fixed before the next time, because there isn't a question of if there'll be a next time. There will be. It's just a question of when and how prepared we are for it. 7:43 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Tax Chat by EY. Get your taxes prepared and filed fast.
There's still time left to get your taxes done.
I couldn't tell if that we came back on the regular airstream. I never heard the transition, so I might have been in the middle of a sentence.
Tax Pro right now at
because I couldn't hear it coming back loud enough.
App or call 1-833-TAX-CHAT.
Let's check it. Our WJR Traffic and Weather first at 7:43 and Dana Clark.
Earlier accident investigation is complete. McNichols eastbound between Grand River and Trinity Street has now reopened. I-475 southbound between I-69 and Bristol Road, that's in Genesee County, still closed due to a multi-vehicle crash. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Will be a dry start to July on this Wednesday. Clear early, then afternoon sun with a high of 87. Overnight, a clear sky with a low of 66. Sunny and hotter tomorrow with a high near 92 degrees.
Trina's
From the
coming
Weather
on
Channel,
board.
I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on News Talk 760 WJR.
Want to stay cool and safe?
That's a good point, Diane. Diane makes a good point. She plans on getting the vaccine, but will wait and watch for a while. And this is a point, and I don't know if they can figure this one out yet. The virus itself might be safer to get for some people. Some people get this virus and don't even know it, and they go through the course of having the virus, and then they're done with it. The problem is that they can pass it on to family members, as we told the story earlier of a young kid in their 20s coming home, having the virus, giving it to the family. The dad just died. I mean, that's just horrible.
That's horrible.
It's a horrible, horrible story. And
well, they're talking about maybe the vaccine, you're going to need 2 doses. I don't understand that.
Well, there are some vaccines that need 2 doses. Like one of the, there's a couple of vaccines that actually need 2 doses. Hepatitis, a couple of others. I don't know. But that's not unusual and I don't know why. I hadn't even heard that, Steve.
Because originally they were talking ideally that it would be oral, like the polio that we all got as kids.
Right.
Oops.
You're on your way. So who knows?
Okay, now I'm going to add Trina here. Trina's coming on. Although Trina...
She looks a lot like Steve.
She looks like our dot, the WJR dot.
Uh-oh.
Trina, can you hear us?
Trina, can you hear me? Barbara Streisand. She's
nice
on
call.
mute, so she might be talking to us, but she's on mute.
Unmute yourself, Trina, if you can.
There she is. There she is.
No,
Miss America.
But we can't see you.
I don't know why.
All right, walk her through going to the camera thing to go to the camera on her
All right,
computer.
so look at your computer and it says cam/mic.
Got it.
Okay, click on that.
Yep.
And do you see where it says video or camera?
Yes.
Click on that and let's see what happens.
Click on the one that says your computer. There we go.
Look how cute you are. I love your red.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my Tiger Red, but it's not Sunday.
It
Tiger
isn't
Red.
Sunday. Do you see that I have my Rocket Mortgage Classic shirt on?
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Paul.
This is last year's though, so I don't know if you have a new logo or not, but this is a shameless plug for another free shirt.
You got it. You send me your size, Paul. You got it. You got it.
All right, I'm going backstage. Thanks for your
All right,
time today,
I
Trina.
can't. I got to hear this station better because I can't tell when we're coming back.
You hear it now?
Of a lifetime at StoryCorps.org/AARP.
There it is.
Honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
And Steve Courtney and Trina Scott, the Chief Diversity Officer of Rocket Mortgage. Trina has been on the show a lot lately, and I feel like she's a fellow co-host along with Steve. She's a native Detroiter, board member of the Rocket Giving Fund, which is a 501c3 that administers the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And it's always nice to see you. And here we are, Trina. We kind of thought at one point or another we may not have it, but we have it starting today.
We have it starting today. Thank you, Paul, for having us again. And I'm really excited to talk about the Rocket Mortgage Classic and this year with Changing the Course, really focusing on digital inclusion, because we know during COVID-19 that it was really highlighted how exclusive Detroit residents are in terms of not having access to the internet. And so we are so proud to be working with the city, to be working with our residents, to be working with our community partners to really address the digital divide that exists.
Well, you're addressing it in a very big way. And Steve, I think they are changing the way the rest of the PGA looks at their tournaments and their involvement with their host cities, don't you?
There's no doubt about it, Paul. And coming off the success of the first go-around just 1 year ago, that became crystal clear. And Trina, I think many Americans found out via this COVID-19 isolation that we all experienced. Many people were saying, could you imagine going through this without the internet, without access to various devices for information, for entertainment? Unfortunately, there are many people inside our great city of Detroit who didn't have the luxury.
That's right. That's right, Steve. And it's striking when I read you these numbers. 22% of Detroit families currently don't have access to a cell phone. 30% of Detroit families do not have access to the internet, and 40% of Detroit families have no cellular data plan. So imagine trying to gain access to telemedicine, gain access to jobs, gain access to other resources for students that are trying to learn online in a new platform. This really was striking to us. So when we had the decision of if we were going to do the golf tournament or not, we said if we're going to do it, we're going to have to do it to really impact and changing the course and the outcome for these striking results that we know we can help change, and we can only do it as a community. So we're really excited to be working again together. We created the Rocket Mortgage Community Coalition, where it wasn't just Rocket Mortgage, but it was also other community partners helping us to address this. And we're really excited for Connect 313. That will be our bigger, longer, sustainable, transformative approach to this, not just a 1 year, we raise this money, but really over the long haul, how do we make this impactful so that generations from now have access to what we all should have access to, and that is being able to have access to the internet, and most importantly, being able to have equitable access to other things that come with that. So we are in it for not just a great golf tournament. Of course, all of us are chomping at the bit to see some sports. I mean, it's been since March, right? Since we had a live event here in Detroit. But we didn't want to just do it for entertainment. We really wanted to do it to highlight all the great things that are happening in Detroit, and not just talk about the digital divide, but talk about digital inclusion and how we're banding together as a community to be able to address this very striking challenge.
With that in mind, Trina Scott, Chief Diversity Officer, Rocket Mortgage, with that in mind, not just a vehicle for fundraising, as you mentioned, but also making sure that the leaders across the city, representing every constituency, have a seat at the table to provide input and feedback on this new initiative. That is a long-term initiative. It is a fabulous goal, but no one's expecting that after this tournament, one tournament, we're going to be able to achieve all that. This is going to take a while.
It will, Paul. And you know what? This is what really working as a community is all about. You know, being a native Detroiter, I know what it means to work as a community. We know what it means as a company to work as a community. And so our goal is to be able to address this again in a sustainable, changing way. We don't expect, as you said, for this to change overnight, but we know that as we make these incremental changes, that overall we will see the impact, you know, long term. So some of the things that we're trying to do is, of course, get laptops and devices to our students who need them. We know that we need to also determine where are our gaps and where is their access and where isn't their access. So again, this is a long-term plan. We have it outlined out. Again, we're not working at it alone. We need to create community hubs where if you don't have access in your community, you can go to a place within your community to be able to access this. We're looking to have those within a 15-minute walking distance in each community. Again, we know that we have to have this step by step. And so we're working collectively to create those opportunities for our residents that so deserve it.
Trina, do you see in the not too distant future providing those who need this valuable service with the information that they need to acquire it?
Yes, we do. We do. And our first step is data collection. We must understand where our opportunities are. I think that's so vital. The second piece is really for us to determine where are the gaps and where do we fill in for those students who don't have access to technology. And then most importantly, it's not just giving access to the technology, but it's helping to navigate through that. I don't know about you guys, but you know, we had implemented Microsoft Teams and some of these other, Zoom and some of these other platforms that really we expect for people to know. And quite honestly, it's not intuitive to be able to pick those things up. So we know that digital literacy is so important as well. So the resources around not just providing the tools, but also providing those other resources that are so vital to be able to use these devices to access the things that everyone deserves, to be able to access telemedicine. Can you imagine in this stay-at-home state, if you didn't have the ability to be able to access for when you're not feeling well, or if you need some advice about how, to care for yourself? It's really striking, and it was really heart-wrenching for us to know that data and not being able to do something to address it. And again, it's a collective effort. It's not an individual effort. So while we're excited about the golf tournament, we're even more excited about this challenge ahead of us. And we know that we won't be able to do it alone. That's why we're so excited to have partners in this with us.
Over and above all of this goodness that you bring to us, Trina, and that we talk about, we cannot forget the simple fact that the Rocket Mortgage Classic provides a truly great opportunity to showcase Detroit to the rest of the world. This is very big also.
Absolutely. We are showcasing our great city. This is an opportunity for us to serve all the things that we are doing here in Detroit, how we're bonding together as a community, not just during this COVID-19 time, but this is who we are. This is who we are as a city. And so we're excited to be able to share the narrative that we know is true, that we are a grit a city, that we grind and we make things happen. We work together. We build communities together. And that's what it's all about, Paul and Steve. It's not about, this is the challenge ahead of us. It's to be able to state the challenge, but also be able to share on a global level. This is how we are banding together as a community to address that challenge. And so we're excited about it. We're excited to have Detroit front and center. We're excited to be able to show off the Pga Tour in the city of Detroit, not the outskirts. And we're really excited for our citizens to share their stories about how we're bonding together, how we're building together to address these challenges that are ahead of us. So I couldn't be more proud. This is my second year of being a part of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. It's our second year here in Detroit, and being a native Detroiter and a golfer, it's truly an honor to be able to do something that we will see long-term, both Paul, Steve, and myself, and all of us be able to see the fruits of the labor in the both immediate and long-term future. So we're excited about it. I don't know if you guys get the feeling, even though we're not.
Oh, we can sense it. We can sense it. We feel it whenever we talk to any of you guys. Later, we're speaking to Jay Farner. We know that he has that brimming from him as well. Quickly, Trina, is there a website that people should go to that want to contribute to try to make all of this happen? You know, we can't come to the tournament, so we're not spending money at the gate, but maybe we want to spend that money to help the cause here.
RocketMortgageClassic.com. We
That's
need
easy.
to go there. And we have a hashtag. We have all kinds of things that our community can contribute to. Paul, we are really hoping that folks understand how valuable it is that we all contribute to this effort. It helps not just the citizens in the city of Detroit, but it also helps us as a community when we think about the state of Michigan, when we think about the Detroit metro area beyond Detroit. But you can also go and text area 313-243-725. So that's changing the course, RocketMortgageClassic.com, or texting area 313-243-725.
Trina, hopefully you're finding time to play.
Yes, my husband and I celebrated our 14th anniversary yesterday.
Oh.
We played at Crystal Lake, and it was so awesome. So I'm hoping to be able
Happy
to
anniversary. How great is that?
so much. Thank you.
Happy anniversary. Trina Scott, Chief Diversity Officer, Rocket Mortgage, a native Detroiter with a big smile on her face, and for good reason. We've got lots to smile about among all the other things that are going on. This is an island of joy and good news as we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show on WJR at 7:58.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
And we're checking our WJR traffic and weather first at 7:58 with Dana.
Still dealing with that area in Auburn Hills and Pontiac, blocked due to fallen power cables, updike both directions, a block between M59 and Featherstone Road, as well as Featherstone, both directions blocked by those cables, eastbound and westbound between Bay Street and North Updike Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Starline Mackinac Island Ferry. Hightail it to Mackinac Island on a Starline hydrojet or catamaran ferry, and now a new pirate ship, the Good Fortune. Starline offers the largest open-air boats disinfected before every trip, with fares starting at $19. Get discount tickets and vacation packages at MackinacFerry.com. That's MackinacFerry.com. The heat continues, and so does the sun. Now, make sure you have plenty of water if you are doing activities outside, and sunscreen. A high of 88 today. Tonight, clear skies, low 66. 92 on Thursday. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in about 1 minute.
Picture this. A shortage of fuel has closed your electric utility, or any other possible disaster devastated your town. You're out of power, no lights, no news. That's why federal and state agencies urge you to have an emergency radio. Now you can get a free Dynamo World Band emergency radio. This powerful radio lets you stay informed during any type of emergency. It doesn't even need batteries. It comes with a hand crank generator and super bright LED flashlight. The Dynamo emergency radio includes the NOAA weather band, a long-range AM receiver, a high-sensitivity FM band, and even a USB jack to charge cell phones or other devices. The Dynamo emergency weather band radio retails for almost $30, but Newsmax wants to make sure you get this radio. So check out the free offer for the emergency radio by going to gettheradio.com. That's gettheradio.com, or call toll-free 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-NEWSMAX. This radio could save your life. This offer may end soon, so order today.
WJR Detroit and WDVD HD2 Detroit. The great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR, where Detroit comes to talk.
Hitting them straight and long. Pro golfers are in Detroit for practice at the start tomorrow of the Rocket Mortgage Classic at Detroit Golf Club. Defending champ Nate Lashley tells Paul W. his life was changed with his victory last year.
Yeah, it changed a lot from a golf perspective and a career perspective for sure. You get to play in any tournaments you want. I get my first chance of playing in the Masters. I got to play the British Open, get to play the PGA Championship. So it gets you into a lot of great golf tournaments. And, like I said, probably the biggest part is all that confidence it gives you.
Michigan COVID-19 cases climbed by 373 and the deaths increased by 32. Masks and hand sanitizers are the cornerstone of the governor's school reopening plan. If cases are very high, though, in-person classes will be prohibited in the fall. Tonya Allen, part of the governor's advisory council on school reopening, says everyone can help.
The community can include PPE and thermometers in our school donations to support schools. And we, the parents, can commit to check our children's temperatures daily and keep them home if they are symptomatic. And we, the citizens, can support our local school boards and administrators by abiding by their rules and offering grace in very difficult times. If we all pull together, our children and educators will be safe.
Dr. Fauci warns that coronavirus cases could grow to 100,000 a day in the U.S. if Americans don't do better in following the public health recommendations. The European Union companies released a list for nationalities of travelers that should be allowed to enter their borders. U.S. is not included. TripAdvisor CEO Steve Courtney on whether businesses are making good on their protection promises.
More people than ever before are coming to us for guidance, and they're looking for the safety info. So we've added a question in our review forms that is asking about the safety establishments, the safety things that each of these establishments have done.
That's the head of TripAdvisor. Detroit police say a woman was shot and killed when somebody pulled up to her SUV and opened fire on I-75 south of 8 Mile early Monday morning. A gunman fired shots at a car driven by an off-duty Taylor police officer on I-94 on Detroit's west side and then fled the scene. UAW President Rory Gamble has met with U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider about the future of the union and the federal investigation into financial wrongdoing by some former UAW officials. No information has come out about that meeting. New York City officials have cut the police budget by $1 billion. Voters in Russia have voted on changes to the Russian constitution, and that will make Vladimir Putin the ruler of Russia for life. The World Market Update sponsored by Mother Waddles. Donate your car to Mother Waddles. Help the poorest of the poor. Call 313 Waddles. Asian markets are mixed. London is down. The Dow futures implied open is down 222. For WJR News, I'm Dick Hafner. More with Paul W. in 2 minutes.
Head north with Wallstrom Marine, Northern Michigan's largest boat dealer and full-service marina. Wallstrom Marine has continued to grow for over 74 years to better serve all your boating needs. Visit their new and improved Traverse City location on US 31 South, offering luxury lines of Sea Ray, Pursuit, Chris Craft, and Tiara. Getting you into the boat of your dreams has never been easier. Their expert staff can also offer you a free market evaluation on your current vessel. Visit them at one of their 5 Northern Michigan locations or Wallstrom.com. Wallstrom Marine, boating made easy.
Helping those who need it most while building a better future. That's what Michiganders
Kim tells me she's getting a lot of questions on social media about why I can't go up to Mackinac.
And 600,000 to small
private text. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. On social media, I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is I'm fighting some sort of a gastrointestinal issue. The best way I can put it. That would preclude my driving for 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it is, and being dependent on gas stations and McDonald's.
Power Michigan's economy for
along the way to stop
the largest investors in the state.
It'd make a long drive much longer and virtually impossible given that there are stretches where there are no gas stations or fast food restaurants or whatever. And it's a pretty severe issue. I don't know what it is. I've been talking to the
lives of Michiganders today while continuing to build a stronger.
An hour in a broadcast booth. I guess we're coming back. I don't hear that in my headphones.
Is Paul W. Smith on
There we go.
760 WJR. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community and ending Detroit's digital divide at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Now, here's Paul W. Smith.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Some call it Hump Day. You know who you are, Dana. It is a new month. It is the 1st of July, the 183rd day of 2020, with 183 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and that is the truth. And a special gift for us today is Steve Courtney is with us. We are on social media, on camera, as well as on the audio for social media and on 760 on the AM dial, WJR, which we need you to keep listening to along the way here. So we're excited about that, to have Stevie with us. And Stevie, we are very excited to have a great gentleman with us who we have watched from his home in Ann Arbor just grow incredibly in the world of sports to become one of, if not the best broadcasters ever in television sports. He was here last year for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. He's here today for that special broadcast that you were telling us about earlier. And then this weekend, he's got a great NASCAR IndyCar crossover weekend that we've already gotten messages from Bud Denker, Penske Corporation. Without further ado, NBC Sports, Mike Tirico.
Names at all time.
Nice to be with everybody. Happy second half of the year. Let's hope it's a better half.
Boy, oh boy, we could use a better half. I'm not sure it's going to be, but we can hope for it. But my goodness, it's a great Wednesday morning that we get to speak with you, Michael. First of all, you won't be here like you were for the inaugural Rocket Mortgage Classic, and I know you've got some very fond memories.
I do. Actually, I will be here for Thursday and Friday, so I've got a bit of a split week here. So I'm out at headed to Detroit Golf Club right now, as a matter of fact.
I thought you were just here for today.
No, we're doing some stuff. We're doing some stuff for the tournament here for yesterday, today, and then I'll do the Golf Channel broadcast on Thursday and Friday before I head to Indy for the NASCAR IndyCar doubleheader on Saturday and Sunday. So this is the first week that's almost back to normal in my life in about 4 months.
I can't. Your schedule makes all the rest of our schedules look like nothing. I had no idea you were going to be up here right until the moment you had to be in Indianapolis.
Absolutely, a little bit of a double dip. I think the 10 weeks, the 13 weeks really at home have been it's been great to reconnect. The reasoning has been difficult. We all know the challenges that we have. It's such a sad time as listening to Dick's newscast, and just the mention of 36 deaths yesterday announced. It almost is. If that ever happened at any other time, any other situation during the year, it would be the biggest story we talk about for weeks. And I feel we've all become sensitized to the human toll of all of this, and it's such a tough time. So to do the small things like getting back to work, you just really, as you say, it's a blessing, and you appreciate it every day, Paul W., for sure.
I'm just listening to your schedule there, Michael, and if there's ever been an individual up for cloning, that would be you.
Stevie, it's a fun thing. You know what it's like during the year. We started piecing together what the fall might look like if we do have football, and who knows what's going to happen there, and all those other things. And we have this confluence of events with Indy 500, Kentucky Derby, started the NFL season, started Notre Dame football for us at NBC, all in about a month span. And it's exciting to think about being exhausted again. It really is. So we hope we get there. We hope people wear their masks and wash their hands and do all the safety stuff and put the political garbage to the side. Just try to save each other so we can get back to sports. I mean, look, the Tigers are getting started for spring training 2.0 over at Comerica. So we've got a chance here. Let's hope we get sports back in our lives, guys.
How do you think our Tigers are going to be, Mike Tirico?
Oh, hey man, let's get hot for 60 games, right? Look, if we just get Mickey to start hitting there for 60 games or so, who knows? It's almost a freebie here, and maybe we'll see some of the young guys, whether it's in the minor league camp that's going to be in Toledo, from what I understand, or up here with the big club for a stretch, a chance to get a little taste of the big league. So next year they can start with step one. I mean, the Red Wings, the Tigers, the Pistons, we're all in desperate need of some hope here. Not just in our lives, but in our sports teams. And maybe this will be the first little sliver at it. If you get hot for a short stretch in baseball, as we all know, it can change the course of a season. So why not? Let's hope they can do that when they get going here in a month or so.
From your lips to God's ears. All right. So Mike Tirico will be here doing a broadcast today, the virtual tee times, the other things. You'll be interviewing many of the golfers today. Give me the rest of your schedule and our listeners the rest of your schedule while you're here.
Yeah, we'll be on Golf Channel 3 to 6 on Thursday and Friday with the coverage. Golf Channel does the first 2 rounds of every PGA Tour event. And then CBS will handle the weekend. So my friend Jim Nance will be coming in, CBS crew we work with for Thursday and Friday. And then Jimmy will be here with CBS on Saturday and Sunday. You know, Paul W. and Steve, I've got to say that I've been involved with the Rocket Giving Fund the last couple of years. My almost 25 years associated with the PGA Tour and the chance to help out the event in Detroit. I've got to give a huge tip of the hat to everyone, to Jay Farner, who I know you're going to have on later on, to Bill Emerson, to Mark Hollis, Jason Langwell, the tournament director. I was talking to those guys and they were making the decision, do they go here in this window with no fans? And not only did they go to make the decision to do it, but also to really foundationally give back to the city, not just this year, but beyond, with this goal to bridge the digital divide in Detroit. I can't applaud what the Rocket folks have done here enough. And I know the tour players who I spoke with yesterday, they're really impressed by the fact that this is in a city, it's not in the suburbs, and it's going to really do a great on-the-ground difference. It has impressed a lot of folks, and this thing would not have been pulled off without those incredible efforts by Jason and the rest of the guys who I mentioned, and Jay and Bill and Mark. So congratulations and hats off to them. Detroit owes them a debt of gratitude for putting us in a phenomenal national spotlight here.
That is so true. And Jay, you mentioned Jay Farner's coming up, but so is Jason Langwell. He'll be here at 8:18 in just minutes. But I want to quickly give a plug to what Team Penske is doing. We've already communicated with Bud Denker, and of course, with them taking over this hallowed Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is the first big event. I know that the Speedway already has improved from what they've got going on there with Roger Penske, Bud Denker, and the team. But you're going to be hosting coverage from the Pagoda at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the first ever weekend, featuring both NASCAR Cup and IndyCar Series races at the same track, including the parade and everything else. Give us a little fill-in on this busy weekend.
So this is fun. Auto racing is trying to find ways to continue to expand the breadth of the sport. And our folks at NBC, we have the second half of the NASCAR season, all the IndyCar season. And we all know what Roger Penske's impact is on anything he touches. And as Roger has become the person who owns the series, the IndyCar series and Indianapolis Motor Speedway, what a great way to put these two together, and a great Team Penske and NASCAR. So for the first time ever, NASCAR and IndyCar are going to share a weekend and a location. So that'll be phenomenal. So we'll have IndyCar race on the inside track, on the track, not on the main track of the 500, of course, just for a little bit though, on Saturday. So they'll do their road course on Saturday. Then the Xfinity cars will be there for NASCAR on Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, it'll be the NASCAR Cup Series. Never happened before, all on one network. And if not for the leadership of Roger Penske and our guys at NBC, this wouldn't have happened. So if you're a racing fan, it's a 4th of July celebration for you for sure this weekend.
This is a great, after going cold turkey with sports and needing it so badly, it is our diversion from all the other bad stuff we have to talk about all the time. So with the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and it's as it should be, Mike Tirico a part of it through Friday on the Golf Channel, 3 to 6 each day, and then flying, and I do mean flying, to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and for this great event, first time ever with NBC Sports. Mike Tirico, we love you. We're thrilled to say that you live in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Even though you're from originally New York, we think of you as a Michigander in every way.
Well, we've been here more than half our lives here at this point. So this is home, and our kids are from here, and we love the area. So glad to be a part of it, and I hope everyone stays safe and enjoys their great 4th of July. And let's look forward to a great fall together, shall we?
Yes, we shall, Michael. Thank you much.
Michael, you stay safe as well, my friend.
You too, Steve and Paul W. Best to your families. Y'all stay well.
And to your family as well. And he said something very important we haven't had a chance to say yet. Please celebrate the 4th of July safely. We always have stories the next couple of days afterwards of people blowing off their hands or doing all kinds of stuff that happens to them when they don't leave the pyrotechnics to the experts. Please be careful. Don't burn down your garage or anyone else's by not being as safe as you possibly can. Let's celebrate the 4th safely. It's 8:16.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19. But for kids in poverty around the world, things are becoming desperate. Join Compassion International and provide for a family in poverty. Make your one-time $40 gift. Text HOPE to 83393.
Let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first, and Dana Clark at 8:17.
Seeing a construction delay, Paul W., along the Southfield Freeway northbound at Michigan Avenue. Construction has a single lane closure scheduled there through early fall. Traffic is slow from at least Rotunda Drive. Also, Michigan State Police say they are going to be busy starting today through July 4th. This weekend, their motor unit is going to be working with the Dearborn Police along Ford Road. So they'll be looking for people who are driving fast and don't have a seatbelt on. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Temperatures will run above average to start off July today. Clear early, then some afternoon sun with a high of 87. Overnight, a clear sky with a low of 66. And then a sunny day tomorrow, the high hitting the low 90s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on News Talk 760 WJR.
All righty. It's such a long story. I'll have to tell you not today because we're devoting all of our time much as we can to the Rocket Mortgage Classic and everything else. But you got to hear my Rose Pest Control story. We had to call them because once you buy into their service, you can call them back any number of times, and we have to because now we have another issue. This time, ants, and I'm hearing a lot of people are having that. But because in the phone, the woman's name, Felicia, was there for Rose, it led to me calling also, after I saw it, Jose Feliciano. Is there something you have there that I need? No? Okay. Jose Feliciano. And he has something spectacular out, Steve, that we're going to feature Monday. It's called I Am America. And I would suggest you go online and see it on YouTube. If you just go to YouTube and look for Jose Feliciano and I Am America or I'm America, it's wonderful. And Detroit plays a big role in that video because it has him at our 68 World Series. Was 68 World Series when he was singing the national anthem.
Yep,
and
that's the request of one of the great late Ernie Harwell.
Right. And he introduced a whole new national anthem at a time when sometimes for people that was shaky or whatever. But this new thing that he has now, a reimagining of I'm America, is so timely. So we'll have him on Monday morning. But anyway, that reminded me because I was calling Rose and hear a couple of words you don't hear too often these days, now hiring. And that's the truth because of increased demand and expanded service offerings. Rose Pest Solutions has a lot of good positions they need to fill. Full-time, permanent positions, not just seasonal or temporary. Rose needs field technicians, account managers, client services personnel. Not only do these jobs pay well, they come with an outstanding benefits package and paid training. Rose has been protecting businesses and households from pests and disease for 160 years. So it's a good place to build a long, stable career. Industry experience isn't required. And to accommodate everyone's new reality, several positions offer scheduling flexibility. Those are just some of the reasons Rose has been recognized by several publications as a great place to work. Simply put, Rose is looking for motivated people to serve a growing and valuable client base. Learn more and see job listings at rosepestsolutions.com. That's rosepestsolutions.com. If you need a new career, Rose is the solution. It's 8:20 at 760 WJR.
Michigan Economic Development Corporation is committed to helping businesses.
All righty. So, I'm assuming I didn't look up, but Jason is there. Good.
Hey, good morning.
Jason Langwell, the one and only.
Good morning. What's up, Steve? What's up, Paul W?
We're hanging and excited.
I'm very excited. I'm a little tired, but I'm very excited. Coffee's kicking in. We're ready to go. It's going to be a big day, big week.
You know, with this COVID going on, Jason, we can get into it a little on the air. Obviously, going back a year ago at this point, your plate was full. Has this presented more challenges in a crazy way?
Mm-hmm. It has. It has. It's been, everything's new. It's year one all over again, but it's different.
Right.
Yeah. Is the best way I can describe it. We had a plan last year. We had a limited time to do it, but we knew we had to do. And when things went awry, we knew how to pivot around it. We're making new practices. Last year we used practices to get things done. Now it's all new practices.
It's astonishing what you had to go through after the inaugural event, and what you had going for you was that you did such a good job with that inaugural event. You won so many important awards, and they knew too what your long-term plan was and how it's changing Detroit and changing all PGA tours.
That's GetTheRadio.com or call toll-free 877-NEWSMAX. 877-NEWSMAX.
Good. You had
radio could save your life. There's and soon. So order today.
It's true.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
Well, what a pleasure it is to touch base with a guy we've stayed in touch with throughout the year from Rocket Mortgage Classic #1, the inaugural, the award-winning. And that would be Jason Langwell, the executive director of the Classic. He's back, and he's pumped, he's excited, and I suspect he is sleep-deprived.
Just a touch, but more excited than sleep-deprived. We're pumped. We're ready to go.
Well, you look great for those watching on social media and listening in on WJR. We've got it all going on here, all show long for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. But it's true, here we find out that the pandemic is going to wreak havoc. But you had fans with the tour. They wanted this thing to come off again because it was so successful. So having them on your side helped you make the changes you had to make this thing happen this weekend.
It's true. We think about a year ago, we had a limited amount of time to do a lot, but we knew what we had to do. We had a list. We had best practices to pull from, other people, the other events that we were learning from. And coming to this year, it's been year one all over again in the way that all these are new practices, right? And we're blazing new trails, and we have a couple events before us that we've learned from. But even still, this week, we've implemented a new testing protocol that will now set the tone going forward for all the tour events in front of us. So we talked about first best only last year, and it's first best only this year in terms of how we think about the event, but it's just different.
Jason, talk about the success of year one and how that translated to the way that tour players looked at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. I know Bryce and Shambo, who is in the field this weekend, heard about it from some of the other players and kind of made it a point to make sure that he was included in year two.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what you do, Jace, that's got to be a great, great feeling.
It is a great feeling. I think our focus, you get the credit in year two for all that you did in year one and all that we did as a team. And our focus there was to create not just a great golf experience, but a great Detroit experience. And that's what they talked about. They knew the fairways are going to be closely mown. They knew the greens are going to be tight. The golf course was going to be in great shape. They expect that. But it's all the things around it. They were blown away by what they saw with what Rocket Mortgage had done and the city had done downtown. They're blown away by this beautiful Detroit Golf Club and the size of it and the way they all had 3 lockers. The caddies were up in the locker room. Those things don't happen other places. And those are the things that they talked about when they walked away. Not just that it was a great golf course and a great experience there, but it was a great Detroit experience. And that's why Bryson and others have decided to put us on the calendar this year.
You can't have fans there, but you'll have fans tuned in, watching for sure. Yet you still have to be very, very careful keeping those caddies and those players safe. And they want to know they're going to be safe.
Right. No, it's true. I mean, the foundation of our health and safety plan is keeping your distance, social distancing, and beauty. And that's why golf, I think, has led the way here and been able to is, it can take place over, in this case, 220 acres of Detroit Golf Club and an 80,000 square foot beautiful Albert Kahn design clubhouse. But it allows everyone, I'm sitting in a media center where all the tables are over 10 feet apart from each other. But we're and masks, everyone's wearing masks inside. And many of them are wearing them outside as well. So we got a strong plan, worked closely with local state government, Detroit Police Department, and have a really great plan that we put in place. Everyone is following and operating under the new normal, and has us ready to go here this week.
I would imagine in many ways, as we get set for the second go around of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, I know having many conversations with you a year ago, your plate was rather full.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic, it looks like your plate could be even fuller, but congratulations to you and the others for putting this thing together, and looking forward to a great show.
No, I appreciate that. A lot of credit goes to, we have a great team here. Detroit Golf Club's been great. Our title sponsor, Rocket Mortgage, has leaned in, as they always do, in an amazing way to support us. And it has us on the edge of, and the verge of having our second event. And one that I think, to your point, on television is going to show really well. The golf course is beautiful. We'll still have some of that big red mesh. I think you'll see more theater with our event than you had with others, just with what we've done with the branding, with Casey Herbis and his team at Rocket's done with the branding. It looks really good out there.
Excellent. We can't wait. Jason Langway, Executive Director, Rocket Mortgage Classic. Thank you so much. Break a leg, as they say in showbiz. Jay Farner is coming up right after the 8:30 news, so we'll continue the conversation. Have fun, Jason. Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
It is 8:28.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are becoming desperate. Join Compassion International and provide for a family in poverty. Make your one-time $40 gift. Text HOPE to 83393.
And we're checking it right here, right now at 8:28. Our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
A closure along 21 Mile Road at Heidenreich, actually not closed, just an accident reported there by police. Once again, accident reported along 21 Mile Road at Heidenreich. Southfield Freeway northbound at Michigan Avenue, seeing a slow traffic from Rotunda. Construction has single lane closures there. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Restore Wellness Center. Tired of dealing with nagging body pain, joint swelling, tendinitis, neuropathy, and chronic pain? The Restore Wellness Center will reduce or eliminate the pain completely. Reserve your appointment today at the state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatment center. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. A hot one on tap once again today. We do remain dry. Could see a very slight possibility of a stray shower, but lots of sunshine, a high of 88 once again. Currently 70 degrees. Tonight's low down to 66. Into the 90s for the rest of the weekend. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News, with Dick Havener in 1 minute.
This is Ed Harrell, founder of the Kindness Revolution. This is a stressful time for a lot of us. The political environment, work stress.
Hey,
so
Steve.
Beginning now, when we feel overwhelmed by life circumstances, let's take a moment and add some calmness to our lives.
No.
We worry about never comes to fruition. So let's take some time to be calm and to be kind.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. The reason that says that on the rundown, you and Steve just talking, was because I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do any kind of crosstalk. But luckily, Frank is already up and running, and I see him backstage. So I will be bringing him up at 8:48, and
All
you,
right.
Steve, and Frank will be talking. I thought he might have a different connection for StreamYard.
Well,
and
he does have a different StreamYard number. Because I got that. There are too many memos out about StreamYard numbers, but one of them that had all of this was earlier in the week. One of them had all of us with a different StreamYard number.
So right now he's backstage in our StreamYard. So it will work
probably
fine
has
to bring him
change
up.
during the news. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. We'll let Jonah and Digital handle that, but he's definitely backstage already.
Good.
He looks great, and we will bring him up at 8:45-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Spread in areas across our state. We can't let our guard down. We can and we must get this under control now.
The top health official says coronavirus cases keep climbing, and it may be a while before that trend comes to an end.
Chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta says the U.S. took too long to fully address COVID-19.
The same strategies you would have used a month ago, the idea of sort of like maybe starting to incrementally let things happen. You can't do that now. We lost that chance.
And he says if Americans don't wear masks in public, the crisis will only get worse.
Hospitals will become too crowded. People won't have anywhere to go. The virus is going to dictate all that, and it's already happening in some of these places.
I'm John Lawrence.
Dr. Fauci warns that the U.S. could see 100,000 new cases a day unless Americans do better at the physical distancing and other practices. More job cuts are coming to hospital systems. Layoffs and furloughs are underway for 1,000 employees in the Trinity Health System. That's the St. Joseph Mercy Hospitals and Mercy Health. Trinity Health Michigan says it's losing millions of dollars a day.
Hey, Ann.
Democracy, Russian style.
Ann.
Voters in Russia have voted on changes to...
Who's
Yes, Paul.
Get rid of some of these live comments. Some idiot
Yes.
is swearing.
Yes.
Get rid of him. If that's his real name, what a punk.
Hang
what
on
a
a
coward.
second.
It's probably not his real name.
Yes, he's not coming up on our screens.
Okay, because he's up on my screen.
Yep. He's not on the live StreamYard there. I see what I've been watching him.
Jeez.
Hang on.
I'm telling you, social media is such a disgusting, sad thing that it's turned into because of a few bad people. It's really disgusting.
It's
part of the reason that we're in the situation we're in right now.
And you can't let a few bad people. He's been deleted, so and anytime anybody acts poorly, they shouldn't destroy the whole thing. There's some good things about social media.
There's some great things about social media, but it's sad and unfortunate that there are people out there that just try to mess things up. It's a very bad.
He's just behaving poorly, probably having a bad morning. So he's been deleted. Okay, I am going to go backstage. I am keeping an eye on those comments, so just so you're aware.
Yep.
All right, I'm putting the WJR back in the stream and looking for Jay. Hang on.
Bobby.com. It's engagement season. Are you looking to plan the wedding of your dreams? Then look no further than Encore by Chef Bob.
Okay.
We can assist you with every.
Paul, Jay is going to be on the phone, so he's on the phone and standing by.
That's too bad.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know where he is this morning, but he's on the phone.
And we should have had, I never thought of it, but Mike Tirico, we should have given the StreamYard number and all that stuff. He probably has that already on his computer. Just never even occurred to me.
If we're all going to be stuck in our house anyway, let's get
know if it doesn't trust his internet
around the house. The inside-outside guy.
What did Steve say? I didn't hear you, Steve.
Jay's up north. He doesn't trust his
We're all stuck in our homes. If you need
Jay is up north. Okay.
Or simply some home improvement advice,
I
talk
see it.
directly to the guys at 888-654-GUYS or 24/7 at theinsideoutsideguys.com. The Inside Outside Guys have built a team to be here for you.
I was supposed to be doing this from Grand Hotel.
Bloomfield Properties.
I thought Kim and I would be up at Mackinac Island at that Grand Hotel for our
years experience.
annual family event.
Properties is the area's most recommended residential property management team. Our full-service management approach handles all the advertising, cleaning,
After we got our
pairing of your rental
negative tests for COVID, we were still supposed to shelter in place for 24 days or
today, so you can enjoy your
14 days.
Visit northbloomfield.com.
Kim can't hear me. She's on delay.
Properties, experts you can trust.
We know life's a little different. It's been a while since you've had a professional haircut, and it's been way too long since you've made a reservation.
You know, that much of a delay that you're listening
to? We need a little different.
I just
it's a good thing.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Get off.
What was the period of time we were supposed to, after the negative results, we were supposed to?
Something different.
Days. Okay.
Be ready.
Yeah.
We hope to see you soon in Michigan's Great Lakes Bay region, where life is just a little different.
Welcome back to the Paul W. Smith Show. Today's broadcast is presented by Quicken Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connecting the community at changingthecourse.rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
On this first day of July, and the first day of the activity out at the Detroit Golf Club, and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which was basically like all events, on again, off again, on again, but because of the hard work of Jason Langwell, we just spoke with, and now Jay Farner, Chief Executive Officer of Quicken Loans, and because they did such a good job last year with the inaugural event, the tour wanted this to happen, and so it is happening. And Jay Farner, I bet a big sigh of relief that we've made it this far.
Absolutely, Paul. Exciting and more important than ever, this event this year and what it's going to do to help our city. So proud of the team for getting us to Wednesday. We're actually starting to play some golf.
Yep, absolutely. And Mike Tirico, who we had on earlier, will be a part of it today, tomorrow, and Friday. Then he heads off to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for some history in the making. And Steve Courtney, speaking of history in the making, is with us this morning because we try to get him on here whenever we can. And so he is standing by. But I have a quick question that for people who don't know, no one better than Jay Farner, Chief Executive Officer, Rocket Mortgage, Chairman of the Rocket Giving Fund that administers the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Explain to them what we just heard in the promo and what we have been talking about, but explain to them what changing the course means.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you know, PGA events in particular are set up so all the proceeds that would be considered profit are given to charitable organizations. One of the primary reasons why we decided to bring a PGA event here to Detroit. So we made great progress last year, supported a lot of different organizations, communities in our city. But as COVID really hit this spring and we thought about, should we do a Rocket Mortgage Classic, our focus being on the safety of our team members, the safety of the citizens here in southeastern Michigan, we said if we're going to do it, it's got to be for a cause that will have the biggest impact we can possibly think of. And then looking back at what we were experiencing and recognizing that 30% of the households in the city of Detroit don't have access to the internet, the thing that most of us take for granted, the way that we can educate our children during COVID, the way we can find employment, schedule, medical, telemedicine, maybe needed to even get an appointment to be tested for COVID. All of those things, many Detroiters were not able to do. So how do we come together as a community? How do we work with the mayor and the city and really end this digital divide that is hurting so many of our citizens here in the city? So that's changing the course, working together to make sure that everyone over the course of the next few years has access to the internet no matter where they live.
Obviously, Jay, this pandemic has affected so many economically, and of course that carries over to corporations as well. Earlier, we had a conversation with tournament director Rob Kroll, and in true Detroit/Michigan fashion, corporations have stepped up once again, Jay, going into the second round of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and that's always great news.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we all know the Rocket Mortgage Classic is special to our city, and so we all decided this wasn't about whether we could break even or if we lost money pulling it off, or we were going to do it no matter what when we decided to move forward. But to see all of our corporate partners step up and help and stay with their sponsorship programs, many pay for their tickets this year, even though they know they won't be able to access and use that really until next year. So everyone rallied together to pull the event off because everyone understood the importance. And in addition to all the incredible work this will help us do in the city, I think just bringing live sports back to not only our city and our state, but to our nation is so important right now.
United Way benefiting the city of Detroit, United Way of Southeastern Michigan, and the Connect 313 Fund. I'm happy to mention, I mentioned much earlier that Coach Jim Harbaugh and his lovely wife, Sarah, have stepped up from the University of Michigan and donated $100,000 to the United Way. This is all good because that's what you're doing in fact, maybe you can describe the Connect 313 Fund a little better.
Yeah. Well, when we thought about tackle this big problem? Of course, we need to work with somebody who's already on the case, and that's Mayor Duggan and his team. So they've established something called Connect 313, and that's a program to do exactly what I've talked about: drive citywide inclusion for having that digital access. And so, as opposed to going off on our own, partnering with them and having the United Way help us orchestrate all of this, I think in life, Paul, you pick the strongest partners, right, that you can work with that will give you the best results. And so that's what we've done here. And really the first step now is data. Years ago, Dan Gilbert made a strong point with all of us, which is without visibility and information, you can't make decisions. And so our first step will be to get the data. Who in our city doesn't have access to the internet? And once we have that data, then we can plan, how do we build out these technology hubs? Where do we put the computers? How do we ensure that within 10 minutes of everyone's home, 10 minutes of walking, they can get to a computer? And with a second wave looking like it might happen and uncertainty around education this fall and this winter, I think it's absolutely critical that we get going on this right away.
And by the way, the company already contributing over $2 million in an effort that will provide every Detroit public school student a tablet and that internet access that we need the entire city to wrap themselves around. Steve Courtney, you've mentioned it earlier, mentioned it to Jay Farner, the Chief Executive Officer, Rocket Mortgage, et cetera, et cetera. It's a good field. We've got some good golf ahead of us, don't we, Stevie?
There's no doubt about it. And, as we were discussing throughout the morning, you go through the inaugural Rocket Mortgage Classic a year ago, and the field paid attention to exactly what was going on, not only, as Jason was saying, with the golf, but also the amenities, the great city of Detroit, the Detroit Golf Club. And Jay, I know that the field, I think, there's quite a few of the top 50 players represented going into this weekend's play. Very exciting.
Yeah, Steve, I want to get your opinion. What do you think about this last-minute event we're pulling off today with Bubba and company? I was super impressed with those guys stepping up here. I'm excited to watch that.
Steve's been singing the praises of that all morning long, as did Mike.
You know what? And kudos, Jay, to Bubba Watson, because as we're discussing the players who were really taken by the inaugural event a year ago, Bubba would certainly fall into that category, teaming up with Harold Varner III. They'll be going against former world number one Jason Day, Wesley Bryan, at the Detroit Golf Club. That will be shown on many platforms, including the Golf Channel, getting underway at 1 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Yeah,
I can't say enough about. They heard about changing the course, and Bubba calls us up and says, "What if we were to do something like this?" And then the Golf Channel jumping on board. That's just not how things typically work in the world, but that just goes to show, I think, the different feeling we have here in Detroit, everyone understanding how important this event is. I was really pleased and proud that happened.
And well, you should be. Jay Farner, Chief Executive Officer of Rocket Mortgage, Chairman of the Rocket Giving Fund, the 501c3 that administers the Rocket Mortgage Classic. I must tell you, you can donate at rocketmortgageclassic.com. That's one way, rocketmortgageclassic.com, if you believe in what they're doing and what the overall main goal is. Meanwhile, some great golf ahead on television all weekend long. And the architect of all of this at the top, Jay Farner. And Jay, I must say, on behalf of WJR and all the hardworking men and women here behind the scenes and not behind the scenes, we are thrilled to once again at WJR be maybe one of the biggest cheerleaders for this event, because it's so very important to Detroit in so many different ways. And we thank you for making it happen.
Absolutely. I thank you guys too. You're always there for us, and we always appreciate it.
Well, we always will be.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. And break a leg, as they say in showbiz, Jay. Break a leg. That means good luck, of course, except if you're a golfer with a broken leg. It is 8:45 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Big Boy Restaurants. Big Boy has big news. Monday, July 6th is National Fried Chicken Day, and Big Boy's celebrating with their friend Dolly. Sign up at whoisdolly.com to receive a buy one, get one free coupon and your chance to win a $250 Big Boy gift card. Visit whoisdolly.com for details and contest rules.
A dangerous moment coming up. We will have Frank Beckman, Steve Courtney, and yours truly to wrap up this show and go seamlessly into Frank's show. Right now at 8:46, our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Dana Clark.
Just one accident out there, Paul W. in Macomb, 21 Mile at Heidenreich. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Wallstrom Marine. Head north with Wallstrom Marine, Northern Michigan's largest boat dealer and full-service marina. Visit their new and improved Traverse City location this 4th of July to check out their luxury lines and newly added brands, or get a free market evaluation on your current boat. Visit one of their 5 showroom locations or wallstrom.com.
Expect dry conditions and above average temperatures heading towards the 4th of July. Starting off July.
Good morning, Frank.
Hi.
You're live. You look great.
Well, thank you. What did you expect?
Yeah, right. What was I thinking? I know. How are you doing? You're good, but you'll get better.
No, we're fine now. It's just really, it's kind of weird because here I got my phone. Here I got my laptop.
I know.
Laptop, I got my regular computer. Over here, I got my iPad.
Frank, if you saw what I went through this morning, through 3 computers to get on this damn barnyard thing.
He calls it the barnyard, Frank.
And all Ann had to do was resend the same. I think too many people sent too many codes. And the most recent one I was sent yesterday, I tried, couldn't get on 3 computers. Ann resent it. I tried. I got on my old computer, not my new one. I don't know what's going on there. It's just maddening. I'm glad you're on. But you have to change, you know. You have to go to another.
To a different link, Frank, or are they leaving you in?
What's that?
I've already been there once.
To the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Good for you.
Everybody is where they need to be
right now. In the last
going backstage.
10 minutes of our show. We finally have it all right. Goodbye, everybody.
When you consider what's being done this week in Detroit by the people from Rocket Mortgage in this golf tournament, raising over $2 million for charity again, trying to get internet connectivity for the whole city. And they're going to have protesters there today. Are you kidding me?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah.
The same protesters that tore down a statue of an abolitionist, a person who died fighting to get slavery off the charts, a person who died ending slavery, they pulled his statue down because these people are uneducated. If they were educated, they wouldn't be doing all this.
That's why they're in the situation they're in, period.
Is this supposed to be a big
protest? This is an organization, Rocket Mortgage, that's going to help the African American community, which these people, I assume, are from Black Lives Matter or somebody.
Independently owned.
These people are helping them, and they're attacking them.
Serta with a C. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts.
I don't get it.
Well, they ought to be out there.
You know, life's a little different. It's been a while since you've had a professional haircut, and it's been.
I couldn't hear you, Frank. What's that?
They ought to be out there cheering for Harold Varner today.
Right. Not happening.
Black pro golfer who's in this shootout. That's
Hey, by the way, I didn't get to use this line all morning. You saw the couple who were worried about their house because the protesters going to the mayor's house were walking by, and she was out with a gun pointed at him, and he was out with his M something or another. And Kim had the best line. She said,
Today's
Bonnie and Clyde have not aged well.
Loans and the Rocket Mortgage Classic, changing the course for Detroit. Find out more about how the Rocket Mortgage Classic is connected to rocketmortgageclassic.com. Once again, here's Paul.
The most dangerous time in all of radio. Steve Courtney, Frank Beckman, and yours truly together on the social media and on 760 WJR. Good morning, Frank.
Morning, Paul. Morning, Steve. I miss being out at Detroit Golf Club where we would be if it weren't for the problems that we're facing still with COVID. And I'm really looking forward to the Rocket Mortgage Classic again, even though we won't be able to have a gallery this year. It's going to be different.
the hoops that they jumped through, and we just had Jay Farner on talking about it, and all the people, Jason Langway, all the people involved, is so commendable.
Exactly.
To still be able to pull this thing off and raise the money for charity, and for this doing away with the digital divide, which is everybody should be supportive of this. And yet you came on telling us that there are actually people out there protesting today, or supposedly going to be protesting. What's that about?
Well, it's the same group, Detroit Will Breathe, one of these groups that thinks they've got the right to tell everybody how they're supposed to behave, what we can do, what we can't do. The head of this, Tristan Taylor, says, when we say no justice, no peace, we actually mean it. And so when we say no business as usual, you can't enjoy golf either without listening to our voices. So they're going to show up today.
Listen to my voice, whoever you are, and all of you from Detroit Will Breathe. Rocket Mortgage is trying to offer you oxygen. They're offering Detroit oxygen to live and grow with, and you want to cut that off? Really? Who are you looking out for, really? Who are you really trying to help? Not the people of Detroit, if you don't want this to come off. Not the people who don't have internet access, if you don't want this to come off. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Exactly. We want to be dictatorial authoritarians and tell you exactly what you can and cannot do, Paul. That's what we want to be.
Have we actually just gotten to the point in this dumpster fire of a year that we can't even celebrate positives anymore?
That's
Apparently,
sad, isn't it, Steve?
Apparently not.
You can't separate them at all? I mean, what kind of twisted thinking, twisted logic goes into that? I can't even imagine that myself. And I'm sure you guys can't either, but it's too bad. And you know what? Hats off to everybody at Rocket Mortgage for going ahead with this tournament. It would have been real easy for them to say, you know what? No fans, that means no money coming in. That means all that money going out is the money that we make in our regular business. That's not, we give enough. No, they didn't do that. They said, we're going to find a way to raise more for this city and do more.
And awareness.
Exactly.
And that's what they've done, and I salute them. And I can't imagine anyone, well, there's no clear-thinking person that would ever be against this. This is so good for the city of Detroit. It's astonishing to me and so disappointing.
Well, I think that, if there was a way in this panel, we should all go to the Detroit Golf Club and let Bryce and Shambo know he's not the only one that's gained 20 pounds.
I've lost. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, Frank, by the way, where's the blue shirt?
The blue shirt.
Yeah, we all have blue shirts on. We have blue shirts on today. Even Ann has a blue shirt on. This is actually just by happenstance. We didn't plan on it.
I just got some new shorts, too. Yesterday.
I saw those. We're not going to lose you on the court.
Wait a minute. How did you see his shorts already? He just got them yesterday. You guys sharing pictures over the weekend? Wait, it's Wednesday. So you got new shorts on Tuesday.
Story, Paul. We can't get into it. Right
it must be if you're comparing shorts on a Tuesday. Oh my gosh.
Golfers, hey, we're golfers. We do that, right, Chumley?
I guess you do.
It. And I think, by the way, you officially have the only golf shorts that need an outlet. They're rather loud.
Well, that a happy thought, and thinking of nothing but pleasant thoughts. Frank Beckman is coming up right after the news. Stand by for news. Frank Beckman will keep you the best informed audience in all of radio on this special Rocket Mortgage Classic Day, where WJR continues to support this wonderful event because it's so good for Detroit.
Guys, congratulations on the way you got the word out.
I didn't hear what you said except congratulations.
Yeah, I'm getting the word out about the Rocket Mortgage. You guys did a great job on it all morning long.
Well, we're going to do it. You're going to do it now, too. And I assume everybody is going to be doing it throughout the day. Steve Courtney, thanks for getting up early. We appreciate it, and we miss you. We wish you were here with us every day. And we thank our listeners for being with us every day as well, Monday through Friday from 5:30 till 9. What's that?
Steve, you and I. That's for exemption.
Can you understand what he's saying?
No.
I don't know. I cannot understand.
I just smile and nod.
Hopefully our listeners can understand what he's saying for the next 3 hours. If not, it's going to be a tough 3 hours. You go on out and make it a great rest of the day. Stay safe. Regards, Paul W. Smith.
This report is sponsored by the Michigan Health and Hospital Association. If you have Michigan auto insurance, big changes are coming to your medical coverage as of July 1st. Learn how to stay safe with full protection at driveprotected.org. Funded by the Michigan Health and Hospital Association.
Traffic First also sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Celebrate 80 years with Guernsey this summer at your local grocer. From their award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, they are a true Michigan summer tradition. Guernsey is excited to announce their newly remodeled restaurant in Northville, now open Wednesday through Sunday. For more info, visit GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. That's GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. Accident still working to clear along 21 Mile at Heidenreich. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Starline Mackinac Island Ferry. Hightail it to Mackinac Island on a Starline hydrojet or catamaran ferry, and now a new pirate ship, the Good Fortune. Starline offers the largest open-air boats disinfected before every trip, with fares starting at $19. Get discount tickets and vacation packages at MackinacFerry.com. That's MackinacFerry.com. Lots of sunshine once again today. It's going to remain hot over the next several days, getting into the 90s by the weekend. Currently 73 degrees under sunny skies, going up to 88 today. Tonight, clear skies, low 66. Sunshine and 92 on Thursday, more sun and 93 on Friday. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with